Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as welcome here to Jack Deere Field here in Giles County as the Giles County Bobcats open up the 2016 campaign against the Columbia Central Lions. My name is Cody Dareberry. His name is Scott Stewart. And, Scott, we have football back in Tennessee.
Man, it's great. Finally going to play a little football. We've been waiting for it all ever since we played the last game last year.
Yep.
Of course, a lot has changed for Giles County High School. We'll hit some of those as we go through the game today, Cody. We got a historic rivalry coming in. Columbia Central that was a historic rivalry, but it went away, but now it's started back up a little bit. And so we got Columbia Central Lions in. Giles County High School has an old new coach.
Yep. Yeah, we do. and head coach David O'Connor. Last season, Columbia Lions, 3 wins, 7 losses. Right. One of their wins came against a 19-18 victory. So the Bobcats looking for some redemption here tonight on Pulaski TV today. Scott, it's going to be a great season as the cupboard is not bare here in Giles County, but we're quite not sure what dishes are in that cabinet.
Right. David O'Connor comes back to a program. Of course, he left a program that was in pretty good shape. They went to a state championship game the year after he left, of course, and it has declined a little bit, but the bottom hasn't fallen out of the talent pool for sure. So he's coming back, and he's brought in there's a few players that have also come here to Giles County as well, along with Coach O'Connor, is some of his coaching staff. And so, we're going to have not just the talent we had coming up, but some of those other players are coming in as well.
So a lot of new faces, some new transfer players, and it really sets the post Jordan Tucker era. Hard not to mention a guy with 22 touchdowns, 1,800 yards last season. It's going to be a tough guy to replace, but Arkell Reed, the man to replace him.
Well, Arkell got a close-up view of a lot of those yards because he was in the backfield with Jordan Tucker and was the second leading rusher for Giles County last year. So Arkell is no stranger to the football field. He hasn't worked with Coach O'Connor and his staff yet, but I can't expect that to do anything but make them better. The quarterback is John Backus. I lost his name. I'm trying to find it here. But John Backus is the quarterback who we talked about, has transferred in from Athens, 6'3". Last year's a sophomore at Athens High School, over 2,000 yards, 19 touchdowns with just 10 interceptions. 6'3", over 200 pounds.
Yeah, and you're about to get a look at the guy, and it's hard not to start making comparisons to Al Cobb. He really will make you think of Al Cobb. Well, we'll be right back right here on Pulaski TV today as the Giles County Bobcats will take on the Columbia Central Lions. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
All right, welcome back here on Pulaski TV today. Again, my name is Cody Dareberry. Alongside me this season will be Scott Stewart as we kick off the 2016 Giles County football campaign. A lot of optimism, and right now we have 4 captains, Scott, out on the field to open up this 2016 season for Giles County.
That's right. We got Jay Pilon out there along with Jaquez White, Trent Burns, and Key McDonald.
I'll tell you what,
get them all,
one of the guys to really watch out for is Key McDonald. He is a playmaker of the maximum order out there, and it looks like Giles County will. I think they're just going to shake hands first. I don't think they flipped just yet.
Well, they did flip.
Well, I guess they did.
I didn't see the referee give the signal. We're going to give you a shot of Giles County running out onto the field for their first time in 2016 here under the new reign of David O'Connor. We talked about a few players Cody, as we started this game off. But let's talk about a few more. Cameron Harrison is the second-string quarterback. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He's going to be involved in the offense some, from what we understand, coming into the season. Tanner Holly, obviously a big part of last year's team, is going to be probably impacted on both sides of the ball this year. This Brandon Rowan is going to be a player we'll call a lot on the offensive side. Tyler Barnett, Knox Birdsong, and Peyton Hall, all receivers. And there's the smoke that we're used to seeing.
And there's the smoke as the Bobcats walk out hand in hand through the smoke.
Tanner Holly, who I was just talking about, is going to lead them out.
He is. Tanner Holly going to lead them out. And there's really nothing quite like an opening of a high school football season.
No.
I mean, there's just nothing like it. You kind of know, college football's around the corner, NFL's around the corner. But we're happy to be here tonight as, wow.
How about that?
With the
Peyton Hall.
handspring
and one of the cheerleaders.
into the backflip. Oh, wow. All right. Well,
But Peyton Hall with the backflip, the springboard backflip, as Arkell Reed and Tanner Holly led the group in their pregame motions, and then all of a sudden, number 15 leaped and bounded out onto the field.
Peyton Hall bringing Rio to Pulaski.
That's exactly right. I give him a 10 on that. I think he stuck the landing.
10 of 10 on that.
But anyway, Giles County High School and Columbia Central ready to take the field. As you said, Columbia Central just 3 wins last year. But it's ironic that both these teams right around the same time were winning state championships back in the early 2000, back in 2009, 2010, 11 area. And now both of them have kind of fallen off a little bit, but are looking to come back and rebound here in this 2016.
Yeah, both these teams putting several players into the Power 6 conference. Shaq Mason at Georgia Tech and Cameron Ordway recently, signing with the Ole Miss Rebels as he has taken his talents down there. And who knows, the next great superstar could be right down there on those very sidelines as the 2016 campaign is just almost here, Scott.
Yep, looks like Giles County will receive to start the game. Cody going to have back deep for Giles County is going to be I don't have a number.
It looks like a Taurus Davis as well as Mr. Brandon Rowan.
Okay, I didn't have Brandon's number down here.
Yep,
so.
back deep to return.
We're going to have to ask you guys to give us a little leeway as the season usually starts off. There's usually a few question marks as far as rosters go. So.
And Christian Carroll will kick off for the Lions. As folks, the 2016 campaign is here at the Brickyard. And the kick is a low one. Squibb going to be fielded by Davis at the 10. Davis out across the 20. Making a couple of guys miss. Got a good return as the offense takes over at the 30-yard line.
And that's important to get the season started off, Cody. Get yourself out there beyond the 20-yard line anywhere you can, as far as you can. Had good blocking on that return to the right side. And now we're going to get to see the new quarterback, John Backus, in action as he's ready to take the field with his offense. And there he goes, number 7 out there, and he's going to have Arkell Reed in the backfield with him.
So what do you think, Scott? Do you think they throw it here? First play of the season, a new sheriff in town. Do you go? Do you go it? Do you dial it up? As they come out in that shotgun formation with 4 wide receivers from the 30.
We've seen that little formation before with O'Connor at the as the coach for sure.
Some things don't change, and this time we're going to get a flag. Looks like a delay of game. Going to be a 5-yard penalty, Scott, and that is not the way you want to start your 2016 campaign, is with a 5-yard penalty.
No, it is not. And we've got Cody. I'm going to ask you live here. Do you have a number 2 on your?
I do not.
All right.
I do not have a number 2.
We'll
get that. We'll get that for you.
We'll find out who that is for
in
you
just
guys
a little
later.
bit. So the 4 wide receivers set. It's a fumble on Backus's first play, Scott. I do believe he's fallen on it, but not the kind of hole the Bobcats want to fall into on this first drive.
Yeah, we're going to need to talk about that. I was here for the Bridgeforth game last night, and the field was not that bad, but we had a lot of rain come over. Now, Coach O'Connor, I talked to him before the game. He said the field was not in that bad shape, but there's got to be some moisture, and that may have made the ball slick for the quarterback at that point.
Going to bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Cats with 5 wide receivers. Going to be a short pass over here on the near side. And again, weather playing a factor as it goes in and out of the hands of Brandon Rowan.
I'd say weather and nerves is kind of what you're dealing with right now. That one hit Brandon right in the hands, and it may have been a little hotter than he's used to because the quarterback Backus has quite an arm on him. But I'd say there's a little bit of nerves also going on here.
Should bring up 3rd down and 15. And, Scott, just one thing to note, John Backus is also the punter for this team.
Okay.
So you could possibly see that pooch kick here and try to pin Columbia back. Don't know if we'll see it, but that's something we need to look for this season. Backus going to drop, going to throw, and Scott just a little bit high as the pass falls incomplete, and the Bobcats punting unit will step out on the field.
He was trying to hit Tyler Barnett there across the middle, trying to get him out there in that flat area just outside just across the defensive line. He did throw it a little high and wasn't able to pull that in. Not the first offensive series that Giles County wanted for sure.
Backus back deep to punt with 11-12 to go here in the first quarter at the Brickyard. Backus, a nice spiraling punt that Columbia is just going to let sail, and it's got a good flip of field position as they'll pin him at the 30, and a good job there. But there is a flag on the field.
Way over there, you almost missed it, but we're going to see what the call is.
Sideline warning
against the Bobcats.
Against the Cats.
That will not cost them anything this time. We just hope it doesn't happen again.
I believe that was also sideline warning against the Lions.
Oh, okay.
It was both. It was offsetting sideline warnings. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, I haven't either. Okay, the Giles County defense is going to take the field. And, of course, as we said, Tanner Holly is going to be playing at the linebacker position along with let's see, I think we talked about C.J. Bryant was going to be the middle linebacker. He's going to be the key to the defense, obviously, in that middle linebacker spot on the 4-3 defense.
Yeah, and the key to the D is also Key McDonald, who's lined up over here at the defensive end spot closest to you, the viewer at home. Central coming out in the pistol formation. Nice little handoff, and it's going to get about 6 yards there. As it looks like that's number 6, Andre Martin, a senior, 5'10", 220. And, Scott, he's going to be tough to bring down here tonight.
Yeah, he was able to get behind the line and just roll up through the middle there for about 6 or 7 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3 or 4 for Columbia.
Lions back in the pistol with 3 wide receivers. Handoff again to Martin. Martin fighting forward for some yardage. Looks like he should be just at that 1st down marker, and I don't even think it's going to bring out a measurement.
He is a load. Look at he's built short. It's like a bowling ball coming up through there. It was Bryant and Holly teaming up for the tackle on that one.
So a quick 6-yard gain and 4-yard gain for Andre Martin as Columbia opens the season with that early 1st down with the ball at the 42-yard line of the Lions.
And that'll be a motion on Columbia. Number 88 there jumped down here closest to us.
Giles County looks like they're thinking they were offsides, though. Nope, it is a false start penalty.
Yeah.
Good eye there, so it will be a 5-yard penalty and make it much tougher here. Eddles will be 1st and 15 with 10 minutes to play here. Not a very fast first quarter so far, and you kind of get that with these throwing teams. Like
you get those mistakes that's been made. Giles County had a hard time on their first series, and now you see the receiver jump for the line. So it's just you're going to have to get the rust off, I guess is a good way to say it.
The quarterback for the Lions, Drew Williamson, going to take the snap, and believe that was a busted play right there as Martin went one way and the quarterback went the other, and I do not think that's how it was designed.
I love it when they make my point for me, Cody. That's another that knocking the rust off thing. It's going to be 3rd down at about 11.
And this is a big 3rd down play for the Cats as the clock continues to run here in the first quarter, 9:25 to play. As got to think it's going to be a pass play here and going to be thrown to this strong side of the field. As they come out in the pistol, 4 wide receivers for the Lions. Dropping back and firing just
nice
over
play.
the head. And a nice defensive play there, Scott. Number 4.
We do not have number 4. We were calling him Brandon Rowan, but Brandon Rowan's number 14. He's playing in the safety spot. We don't have number 4. He's another one of those that we're going to have to find out who he is in order to give him the proper credit for that play.
And a Lion is down the field, and with that, we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back right here on Pulaski TV today. You're watching Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
What a great play on the high throw to the wide receiver, and looks like why are they replaying third down?
That's a very good question. I really believe it was fourth down. It should definitely be fourth down.
Unless something happened on that play we didn't know about.
And that should be and it's complete. And they get into Bobcat territory, and the Lions pick up a first down, a pickup of about 13 yards, Scott.
Unless they were off before, maybe that's what it was.
That had to be what it is, because I sure thought that was third down.
That ball almost just over the outstretched hand of Tanner Holly and went right in. Good throw by the quarterback, and Brooks caught that ball out there and took a big hit from Brandon Rowan for Giles County.
Williamson, a 6'3", 227-pound quarterback for the Lions, so fairly
got a couple
similar
of big
size.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, big quarterbacks here tonight. As a high snap going to be dropped on the ground, and I believe Martin was able to secure that one.
Yeah, boy, he barely did. There are a lot of Bobcats jumped in there with him on it, but he got to it just before they could get to him, and that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. It's just this kind of stuff's going to happen first game of the season.
Yeah, not just jitters. We also, we do have the factor. It rained quite a bit before this opening kickoff tonight, and you can already tell the field. Yeah, it's going to be a muddy mess before this night is over.
They do a great job of keeping this field. It drains really well, but that much rain is going to have some kind of effect
moments before kickoff. Right. It will definitely play a factor here tonight. Williamson back in that pistol formation with 3 wide receivers from the 45. Going to hand off to Martin again.
Oh,
and
the big
Martin
man in the middle.
It's going nowhere, and I believe that was Big McElroy.
Yes, D. McElroy just absolutely stopped him in his tracks. There'll be at least no gain. If he may have lost a yard, he did lose a yard on that play.
He did lose a yard, so we're not just playing in a brick yard. That was a brick wall right there, a black brick wall of that Bobcat line right now. And Scott, right now, really looks like this defensive line pinning their ears back and really trying to get after this Columbia Central Lions team. 4 wide receivers again, 3rd down and 14. Williamson looking deep. He's going to fire it to Martin, and he will be brought down at the 40. And this is kind of in that questionable area, Scott. 4th down and 6. You got to wonder, do you go for it here on 4th and 6 at the 40?
Hey, I want to give Samari Howe a big shout-out on that. He did a good job of pursuit. He was on the rush, and they threw the ball behind him. He turned around, he pursued and slowed the back down just enough to get some help over there and stop this for a 4th down. You're right. It looks like their quarterback is also their punter as well.
Yeah, and a shot of the cheerleaders right there as they're on the sideline, and we'll probably try to get you their names throughout the season as well.
Yeah.
And this punt is going to go from the 50. It's a good snap. And in this another situation with the quarterback as the kicker. Going to be a high end over end and rolling out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. That's where the Bobcats will take over. 6:24 to go here in the first quarter.
Fortunately for Giles County, Peyton Hall was back deep. It took a good Giles County bounce, probably gained about 5 yards on that bounce. If it had gone the other way, they could have been pinned back pretty deep. But as it is, they're going to end up about the 16 or 17-yard line. Maybe got on the sideline. The coaches maybe calmed them down a little bit, see if we can get a little offensive production going on. We're going to have Peyton Hall out there in the slot along with Arkell Reed in the backfield, and the young man who I don't know his name yet split out wide for Giles County.
I'm going to bet you dollars to donuts this is a running play as they're going to try to settle this down here on 1st down from the 15.
And we got flags down.
On the read option. Flags are down. It was almost thrown almost at the same time. Could be an illegal formation as a false start.
Yeah. I wonder if Reed may not have moved a little bit early on that because it came out so quick like that. I can't say that for sure, but.
And remember, Scott, this is Backus was a late transfer. This
right.
was not he arrived in the spring. He arrived just a month or two ago with this Bobcat program.
Now we're going to see Backus and Reed come out. You got Tanner Holly coming in. We talked to Key McDonald is coming in as well, and even D. McElroy on the left end of the line. They got a new package in here, and it looks like Holly's going to take the snap.
It's going to be kind of a wildcat formation as Tanner Holly is going to keep it and just go right up the middle and almost bake it back to the original line of scrimmage after the 5-yard penalty.
Tanner Holly was a key a key leader for the team last year. As they went through some of the uproar, of course, they lost their coach about midway through the season, and they really rebounded well. And Tanner Holly was a catalyst for that. Him and Jordan Tucker, obviously, were a catalyst for that. So it's good to see Tanner out there on the offensive side of the ball as well as defense. And now you got your main offensive unit back out there.
Yeah, it's going to be second down and about 10 from the 20-yard line. Backus going to look for the screen, going to find his man. That's Arkell Reed. Reed gets in space, and a big pickup, going to be a gain of right at 25 yards, and that is how you turn it around.
They did
flip the field.
Yeah, the offensive line did a good job of spreading the defensive line out, and they got them all separated, and he had the wall in front of him, and Arkell was going to go for days, and he did go for days. But we do have a conversation going on here between the referees, so we'll find out what's going on. But that's a big pickup, the first big play of the year for Giles County, and we have sideline warden.
I'm not sure that was a sideline.
Then he did illegal. Was it illegal participation?
It looked like illegal participation. Like a lineman may have gotten downfield on the block. So this one is coming back.
It's coming back, but it's not going to take the first down away. I don't think. I think it's still going to end up.
No, it's another sideline warning. I really believe that. I'm pretty sure that penalty is legal man downfield.
It's still going to end up first down and 10 for Giles County. They gained enough yardage to maintain the first down. Well, it's the first game for everybody, referees and sideline and coaches and players and everybody. So just going to have to get the rhythm going. That's a good way to do it, though, with a good screen pass for, about 20 or 30 yards.
Yeah, about 25 yards, but it's going to be brought back, and they will get the ball at about the 29 as the Cats have it 5:30 to go here in the first. Another handoff there to Brown and another flag on the field.
One thing that I remember about Arkell Reed from last year, running in place, he's strong, and he ran just as strong as Jordan did in the middle there, just like that you saw right there. So we'll get the call here from the referee. He's going to call face mask against Columbia Central.
Man, that's a big penalty, a 15-yard variety,
right? And
another first down for the Cats. As
so that
they
play,
are moving the ball.
Yeah, they picked up about. Okay, they picked up about 5 yards on the play, and then another 5 on the penalty. So we're going to end up with a 1st and 10 again for Giles County.
And you can already see when the Cats get this thing together.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent out on the football field here tonight for the Bobcats. 5 wide receiver, empty backfield for Backus, and another pass over the middle. A nice broken tackle and a big first down, and he's off to the races. And brought down at the 25, a big play right there, and that was Tyler Barnett with a big 35-plus yard pass play.
He hit. I'll say this: the one thing that we've got a really good, talented group of receivers, and Barnett's one of them. And I'm not sure that they're used to the velocity with which Backus throws the ball yet.
No.
Because you could tell every pass he's thrown so far, and there'll be some touch, and there you can see the play again. He kind of bobbled that ball a little bit, but once he broke free, man, Barnett was just about gone.
And got about 7 more yards by just fighting. As there goes Reed, and the only thing that can stop him is a fence. Touchdown, Cats. And the Bobcats 6-0 here, 4:47 to go here in the first. And he got right off the outside, 25-yard scamper. And Arkell Reed opens the season as the Cats lead 6-0.
That's what you're looking for. And Arkell with great vision hits the line, sees it's bottled up, kicks it out. He's got good blocking on both ends, and he just shoots the gap. And like you said, nothing but they better close the gate if they want him to stop, right?
That's right. And kicking here, Jedediah Jenkins for the extra point. And that old swinging gate. So good to see that back here with this David O'Connor program. Snap, kick. Good. Cats lead at 7-0. We'll be right back here on Pulaski TV today.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
And welcome back here on Pulaski TV today. Again, my name is Cody Dareberry. His name is Scott Stewart. And just really excited to open up this season. And a big touchdown there. As the Cats last season in the early season, touchdowns did not come very often for this offense.
No, but that looked a lot like what we've seen in the past from the David O'Connor football teams. They spread the field out. They got a good big pass play and then went with the ground game and 25-yard scamper for Arkell Reed as we get kickoff away.
And this is something we are also familiar with the David O'Connor program. And the ball is on the ground, and the Cats have recovered.
And that is Deshaun Williams on special teams. As that's getting Giles County fired up. You saw Tanner Hawley come out and get the team pumped up. That's what Tanner Hawley does. And there's nothing like a good pooch kick to get the ball on the ground and get your team fired up.
You know what? I'm having flashbacks to the last time O'Connor. It's like they haven't missed a beat from that team. And when you have a couple of things go against you, this is the kind of play you need to you can really open up the game right here as the Cats come out here on first down.
Definitely struggled in that first series, but made it up for it in the second, and now they got the ball in territory of the Columbia Lions.
I-formation Reed in the backfield. Backus going to do the play action. He's
going
to go deep.
And we don't know his name.
Oh, my goodness.
But it's a touchdown.
For the Cats, 13-0. And I don't want to give the Keith Jackson jinx, but right now, Scott, the route is on.
I'm going to slip away for just a second to find out who that young man is.
He deserves that. And, again, we apologize for that. The roster we had evidently did not include somebody who just caught a 38-yard touchdown as the Cats are rolling as Backus gets his first touchdown as a Bobcat as he walks to the sideline. And hugs are exchanged. And right now the mood has definitely changed on this Giles County sideline. Jenkins kick up and good. That was a one-play drive for 38 yards.
KJ Ziegler.
KJ Ziegler, the man of the hour right there.
Caught that pass. That was what, about a
38-yarder.
38-yard touchdown pass from Backus to KJ Ziegler, who was in a completely different zip code from the defense.
I'm going to say this. I don't have the best arm, but I might could have hit KJ Ziegler right there. Clearly a busted coverage for Columbia. And but, that's a big thing. Backus was able to find the open man. And, sometimes it's hard. You shoot that wide open shot or you throw to that wide open receiver. A lot can go wrong. And 14-0 is your score. And for Columbia Central, right now that was a demoralizing play. Not only do you fumble the ball on the kickoff, but you just immediately turn that turnover into points as the Cats push the lead.
That's exactly right, and it was a good play-action pass too. I mean, he faked the handoff to Arkell Reed, the defense tried to crash down on Arkell, and that gave Backus plenty of time. And he saw a man out there with nothing but green around him, and he put it right in his breadbasket.
And the Cats have scored twice in 12 seconds. Going to be another short little pooch kick.
He almost lost that one.
He did. He almost lost it. Going to be down about the 35, and that's where the Lions will take over. First down and 10.
Did find out that was KJ Ziegler, so at least now we know who he is. I should have went and found out who number 4 is, because we're going to have him up here in a minute.
Yeah.
On defense. But first things first, we got one man named. Now we'll find out who the other is.
Yeah, KJ Ziegler, a big play there. And we got a flag, and the referee, this looks like this could be a personal foul kind of penalty. Nope, legal substitution against the Lions. And this is the wheels are kind of wobbling on this Lions train right now, and it's threatening to head off.
Well, to be honest with you, this if you get this way this early in the ball game, and things on the roads particularly, Cody, could get rough. We do have a timeout though called by Columbia.
And we do have a timeout, and we will take it with them. We'll be back. You're watching Giles County Football on Pulaski TV today.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and juries make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Juries may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you at every important step.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
All right, welcome back here. 4:32 to go as they welcome in here Cody Derryberry alongside Scott Stewart. And the backfield, it's Williamson. No, it's not. There's been a substitution change for the Lions on that screen pass, and he just drops that one. Darian Davis, a sophomore quarterback, 5'9", 160 pounds, going to come in here for the Lions.
Looks like he may be a little more mobile. He tried a little fake quarterback keeper, tried to hit Mason Jobe on the rollout. Hit Jobe in the wrong place, right in the hands, so he couldn't come up with it. By the way, number 4, the cornerback here on the near side, number 4, is Keegan Potter. So want to make sure we get Keegan. He's the one who made that big hit earlier on the receiver for Columbia.
Again with the pistol formation. This is a keeper, and
like I said,
he's gone, Scott. Darian Davis, and that's a touchdown for the Lions. And when you need a momentum shift, a 78-yard touchdown run is a good way to do that.
I tell you, that play fooled just about everybody in the building, because I was watching the defense grab the running back. I was watching the running back, and until you said he had it, I didn't even realize that Williams had the ball. So a great play to stem the tide, and all of a sudden we got us a ball game again, right, Cody?
That's a big one right there, a 78-yard touchdown run for the sophomore Darian Davis, as the Lions will go to kick the extra point. And off the concession stand roof it goes. And I may have spoken too soon.
Yeah.
14-7 now your score, as the Cats right now with that one touchdown lead. And
we're just gonna keep it here, Cody, as we're just about ready to do the kickoff. And we'll just, like I said, I just want to talk about the defense. And offense isn't the only one that struggles with the first play. The defense hasn't seen. They obviously didn't know what they were going to deal with. They may not have even known it, because he's a sophomore, right? They may not have even. He's a sophomore. They may not have even realized that young man was an option on the field, and so all of a sudden now you've got a fast quarterback who comes out and tries to throw a pass the first play, and then the next thing you know, he's running around the end for 78 yards.
So here's a little interesting stat. There were no scores for the first 4 minutes of this ball game. We've now had 3 touchdown scores in the last 35 seconds of play.
Let's keep it up.
And,
at least it'll be exciting.
It will. And, this is the kind of football I think both these teams are hoping to open up the season with.
Right.
And both teams can use this game. This is not a region contest.
Right.
And you can only just build off of this game.
That's right.
And
So back deep for Giles County is going to be Davis.
Davis will get it at the 15. Gets a block, makes a man miss, gets sidelined. The ball is out. And looks like the Lions.
I think Giles County recovered.
Oh, good. Bobcats did fall on it. Look for a moment. The Lions looked like they were going to take over. And definitely the weather playing a factor here tonight again. It rained, I'd say, about 20 minutes before kickoff at a decent little rate.
Right.
And it definitely soaked this field.
I would have wagered that it would be raining some point in time before this game was over with. I don't want to jinx it like you said a minute ago, but we do have some clear-looking skies out there right now. The field is wet. The ball's going to be a little wet, but it's still in great condition for the fact that we've had as much rain as we have.
If you watch, there's a big block on that last play by Columbia, and just a nice reach in there for the Lions to poke that one out. And here's Reed, and he's going nowhere. The Lions will stop him for a no gain on the play.
Giles County's really excited about this offensive line. Just talk about those guys up front. Right in the middle, of course, is Jared Roberts. He came out with Simon as a senior coming out here. Jared Roberts has been a part of this football team for the last 4 years, been a contributor for 4 years here on this football team. He's the center. He can play anywhere on that line.
Anywhere, yep.
And then on your 2 guards are Brian Westmoreland, Trillian Marks, and your 2 tackles are Devontae Murphy, Morgan Witt, and your tight end is going to be somebody different every. They've got about 3 players they can swap into that position.
Backus looking a nice block as Backus just going to run and pick up a first down.
That was Morgan Witt with that block you were talking about back
Great
there. Big block to spring Backus, and that's the kind of wheels that Backus has. He's not going to. He's not like you just saw with Williams on the Columbia side. He's not got that kind of speed, but you give him open ground and he can use it up.
Really, and that boils down to recognizing, hey, my guys downfield are covered. I need to get what I can get. And if you can take 13 yards on that play, you take it every time.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that.
So got a late substitution there. That's number 14 running out on the field. Brandon Rowan. Another Bridgeforth standout in the backfield. And speaking of Rowan, he's going to take it on the end around. Going to make a man miss, spinning, going to get across the 50. And a good little running play there for Brandon Rowan as he picks up another first down for the Cats.
2 plays, 2 first downs. That's the way you want your offense to run. Giles County's got a lot of weapons that you were talking about. We saw come up through Bridgeforth. Brandon Rowan is one of those guys. And then South Giles as well with Peyton Hall. And so, there's a lot of players that we saw coming up through Bridgeforth and South Giles on this team. And they're showing out right now, especially on this offensive side of the ball.
Now they come out in a little more familiar formation, I formation. It's going to be a fullback handoff up the middle.
That's White.
And that is number 34.
Oh, 34, I'm sorry.
Keyshawn Dangerfield, as he's going to pick up about 6.
And I believe, if I'm not wrong, that's Kendall's brother or
cousin.
Yeah.
Brother, one of the 2.
Kendall Dangerfield, a great player here at Giles County High School, went on to play 4 years at Middle Tennessee State, MTSU.
He did, a alumni of the Blue Raiders.
And I may be wrong about that, and you guys can call me at the newspaper and tell me that I was wrong, but I think that's right. It won't be the first time I'm wrong. My dad said that's the second time I've been wrong all day.
Man in motion for the Cats on second down and about 4. Backus. Nice.
He's got him.
Makes a
He's
man
got him.
miss.
Oh!
And he dropped it, Scott. He dropped it. And that was Peyton Hall.
You won't see him drop many. He had obviously had to step on the defensive back. Backus did a wonderful job of shaking off the rusher and got that ball. He put it right. Like I said, you hit him right in the wrong spot.
Yeah, he just tried to.
Yeah, he tried to.
That's a tough play to make.
When
he
you're
was looking over his shoulder, that was not the easiest play. As we see the replay, And a brilliant pass, though.
Oh, yeah.
By Backus. Holly's going to come out again in the Wildcat.
Got a flag
There's
down.
a flag in the field. Usually that's too many men on the field. 1, 2, 3. No.
Yeah, when it comes from that back judge back there, it's usually something like that. So let's see what that is. I think we got the first. I think Holly picked up the first down either, as long as it's not against Giles County. Referee's counting. He taking his shoes off.
Yeah, I think I was doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Legal substitution against the Lions.
Yes.
Should be declined by the Cats. Well,
either way, it's a first down for Giles County. So they are. It will because Tanner Holly was able to come in and pick up the first down. They're probably going to decline that penalty. No, what are they going that way for?
wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
He's still okay. There we go.
He says, "Go the other way, brother."
Yeah, I'm not really
like
sure.
I said, y'all,
it is everybody's first game.
It's our first night. We're all going to make a mistake or two, so let's give the referees a little break, too.
So will be a penalty tacked on. Looks like it's tacked on to the end of the run.
The only person who's having a great night tonight is Ricky Lee Nelson.
There you go.
Let's just make sure we get that right. Get that.
Got to get the shout out. Ricky Lee running the board for us tonight and getting you these great angles as we're going to get Reed with the handoff.
Goodbye.
And he gone. Touchdown, Arkel Reed. And it's the second of the night.
So if that 25-yarder wasn't to your liking, let me just tag a 30-yarder on there for you. And Giles County's offense is clicking, to say the least.
And, this is what we were wondering. This is what we were talking about. The cupboard, lots of new pieces. But right now we've kind of got the table set, and it's looking like some mighty fine china right now, Scott.
It looks great. That hole was big enough for me and you both to run through. And once he hit the secondary, it was over with. He had good blocking out here by one of his receivers to just bring him all the way to the end zone.
Another big run, Arkel Reed. And if this is the kind of season this offense is going to have, they're going to win a lot of football games.
Right.
Snap good. Kick is
no
good. Wide to the right. And the Giles County Bobcats lead this one 20-7. And there you see it, 20-7.
And we still got a minute and 52 seconds left in the first quarter. And like you said, both teams' first possessions were pretty much disasters. And then ever since then, it's been score, right?
And we're going to take a timeout right here. You're watching Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County Football 2016.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
And a big hit as we come right back in. A nice little hit, and that looks like
Dallin Harris.
Dallin Harris. And Scott, know the young man personally. He is a very large human being.
And a firecracker right there, and the receiver, the kickoff receiver there they're killing this guy that's catching
him.
the ball down. It's the same guy every time.
He's like, Coach, can I go the other side? Come on.
They'll kick it to him if he does.
Don't do me like that. And Williamson, Scott, his night may be done for the Lions as, right now they've got Davis back in the backfield again, Darian Davis, who took his first play, 78 yards, but this one's over his head.
Look at that, how he outran the defensive line. Somebody better get him.
Wow. Only a loss of 2, and a great play to not make that a more negative play than it already was.
I was calling him Williams a while ago. You'll have to excuse me. I thought
Darian Davis.
Darian Davis with that 78-yard touchdown score for Columbia Central to keep them in this ball game on their last possession, and he had a group of Giles County players bearing down on him and was able to turn about a 10-yard loss into a 1-yard loss.
Pistol formation again for the Lions with the 3 wide receiver set. Davis may want to change the play. This looks like a go route. We saw the motion down here from your near side wide receiver. And Davis, all kinds of trouble.
Oh, the receiver
and a broken tackle. And that was very close to a face mask over there, Scott, on the near side. On the far side of the field, there's a big first down there for the Lions.
Tanner Holly able 15. To stop him before he got any
he
further.
Was.
That's 2 broken plays. That's the kind of, that's the old Randall Cunningham look, the broken play, run around, just sling it up.
That's it. I mean, that's what it looked like. That was something I don't know if is in Williamson's playbook.
Right.
So we see it again right there. A nice wrap-up tackle. It looks like making that stop initially was Austin Norwood for the Bobcats. Right. As we see the replay. Pistol formation again. Davis. This time he doesn't get the handoff down, and he gets rolled up.
Jaquez White coming in off that outside linebacker's position, and he wasn't getting away from Jaquez, not on that play.
No,
anyway.
not that time. And he's going to lose about 3 as White just really went through the line like they were traffic cones. I mean, that's what he looked like. He just said, "Excuse me."
He basically met him in the backfield. That's going to be about a 2-3 yard loss, bringing up 2nd and 13.
4 wide receivers for the Lions. As we tick under 15 seconds here in the first, zipped across the middle, and it's knocked away. And I believe that was number 14,
Brandon
Rowan on the breakup.
Of course, Brandon Rowan, those cornerbacks filling some big shoes for, of course, 2 years removed with, as we talked about, Cameron Ordway being back and Dontaris Gilbert. Being back there a couple years ago. So they're filling some big shoes back there and doing a good job of it.
Now 3rd down and 13. This is probably they wish they had Williamson and that arm, as they're definitely going to have to pass here. Looking down the field, Davis chunks it up. Incomplete, just wide. As nice coverage there on the play.
Yeah, Brandon Rowan had him bracketed down there from the. Brandon Rowan's playing out at safety position. He had him bracketed to the outside. It was going to take a really good throw for the quarterback to hit that receiver, and so he was pretty good coverage for Brandon Rowan back there.
Yeah, it was going to take a dime to drop that one in there.
Right.
And the punting unit on the field. Back deep to return.
Peyton Hall.
Is Peyton Hall for the Cats. And this will be the last play of the quarter. And it'll go out of bounds at the 30. At the end of the first quarter of the first game of the 2016 campaign, the Bobcats lead the Lions of Columbia 20-7 right here on Pulaski TV today.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
I've got my closest friends over to watch the game on cable. Did you know you can advertise your local business during this cable program? Via Media represents the advertising for your cable system. They could put a TV commercial for you right here on the system during this show. Let Via Media help you. Call Via Media today or viamediatv.com.
20-7 is your score. A good lead here for the Cats, and Scott, keep that up. We'll score 80 points tonight. I don't think we're going to score that number, but I think we're headed for a game in the 40s or 50s is what we're looking like.
Right. Giles County the offensive line is everything it was built to be. They said they were going to be an improved group, and we've talked about them. They're doing great. Quarterback John Backus has shown he's able to run and throw the ball. The wide receivers are everything they built to be, and Arkell Reed obviously has been. So as long as they keep building their flow, it's going to be great.
Backus hands off to Reed, who runs through a hole the size of Texas.
That offensive line is absolutely blowing some holes up there.
Blowing people up. Reed going to pick up about almost 20 yards.
I need to pick up who those guys on the right side are so I can tell you, because I think Devontae Murphy's one of them on that right side, and I need to make sure who the other one is. That's Witt. Devontae Murphy and Morgan Witt, absolutely. And they're both juniors. Blew a hole wide open down on that right side.
And that's Arkell Reed's 5th carry tonight. He's over 101 yards.
Off that right side again, and he may be gone this time.
And he doesn't have reservations for 6 yet,
no.
But he's already caught ahead, and they're looking that way. As Scott, another monstrous run by this Bobcats offensive line. Because you know what, Scott? I mean, as much as we give credit to Arkell Reed, let's be honest, that was a monster holder.
They are riding the right side of that line, they're just blowing it open. It's just watch Witt and Murphy on that side every time, and they're just blowing it out.
Pick up a 50, and Reed going to move inside, getting down close to the 5-yard line. As I guess if I told Arkell Reed, Arkell, you're going to have 6 carries to open the game. You're going to have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He said, well, what do you mean? Did we not score one time or something?
Right, yeah. That's a great start here for the Cats. And, if you're watching this at home right now, you've got to be optimistic right now about this Cats football team. Backus in that shotgun formation as he moves Reed out to the right.
What a move. Look at that.
Backus spinning, and we're going to get a flag on the play.
Get a hold in that.
Backus just wants to get in there, but that one's definitely coming back.
Usually when you make that double move and your offensive lineman gets hung in a spot where he can't help but hold. And so that's where we ended up with that. So that is going to come back, but it was actually a pretty impressive move.
Yeah, that was a sweet move. I mean, you know what we're seeing out of Backus is a tremendous amount of pocket presence. And, I think that one of the biggest attributes a guy that size can have is ability to make a guy miss. Well, if you make one guy miss, you usually can make that throw down.
It's his awareness back there too. Yeah. I mean, we've seen it already 2 or 3 times where he feels the pressure and he gets away from it because he reacts to it. Well, he did that with the pass down here, the long pass down here earlier on the previous series. So he's got a very good awareness of where he is and where everybody else is.
5 wide receiver set is Backus at the 35. Going to do a little quick slant route and a spin move. Hello. That is a touchdown. That is KJ Ziegler.
No, that's Peyton Hall.
Peyton Hall. Yeah. And a dipsy-doo dunkaroo reservations for 6.
I tell you what, he reminds you of another ankle breaker from back in the day, Kenton Baker, didn't
it? Yes, he did. That was Kenton Baker, touchdown maker all day long. And right now, I was joking halfway. Wow, what a spin move there.
Yeah.
By Mr. Peyton Hall. And Scotty dropped 1 touchdown, and he made up for it there because that was all Peyton Hall for that touchdown to give the Cats a 26-7 lead. And we'll get a timeout from the Cats. And a big touchdown there. 26-7 again is your score. And you're not kidding. I mean, that was Kenton Baker flashbacks.
I'm telling
for
you.
sure. That spin move, just that quickness.
Right, yeah. Like I said, another ankle breaker from back in the day. Kenton Banker, it looked just a lot like him. Peyton Hall made about 3 men miss right there as soon as he caught that little hook, and then he was off to the races for that touchdown.
So a little recap for you right now as we have this timeout. How we got to where we were. Arkell Reed started off this scoring fiesta, if you would, with 4:47 to go in the first quarter, 25-yard run. That gave the Cats a 7-0 lead. Then after a short pooch kick that the Lions were able to handle, within just 12 seconds of that last score, the Bobcats were able to score again, that time a touchdown pass from Backus to Ziegler got us to 14-0. And then after a quarterback change for the Lions, there was another touchdown run. This time was by Darian Davis. After the substitution, a 78-yard touchdown. Arkell Reed tacked on another 35-yard touchdown. And just then you saw Mr. Peyton Hall get in the end zone as the 2-point conversion is good.
I didn't get to say. I guess it was Arkell took it in for 2.
And looks like Peyton Hall.
Was it Peyton? Okay.
Peyton Hall takes it in, and the Bobcats lead it 28-7, 10:31 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching Pulaski TV today, and we'll be right back after these messages.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
Welcome back here as the kick is another short pooch kick. They're just going to fair catch this one, and they want no part.
That's a different man, though.
Yeah, that was number 17 there, Mason Jobe. And, that has been in David O'Connor's arsenal as long as we've watched this football team. Yeah. And, I think you give yourself more opportunities. You kick that short kick, you may give them maybe, 10, 15, 20 yards at most.
Yeah.
I think it's a great call, and it puts a lot of pressure on the receiving team.
Oh yeah, and it's worked wonders for Giles County so far in the field position when they hasn't hurt them when they did recover it.
And Williamson is back in at quarterback, and oh boy, Mr. D. McElroy looked like he just Albert Hainsworth swallowed him up with that big paw he got out there to pull him down.
Yeah, talk about that defensive line. You got D. McElroy and Samari Howell both at tackle. You got Jaquez White at your defensive end. Your linebackers are C.J. Bryant, Colton Huckabee, Key McDonald, and Tanner Holly. Then you're going to look at your cornerback. Your cornerbacks are Keegan Potter, Austin Norwood, and your safety Brandon Rowan, along with Trent Burns.
Pistol formation again, and this one's going to be thrown incomplete.
Tanner Holly out there on the coverage that's going to stop the Lions now for 3rd down and 9. So, really, other than that 78-yard run by Davis, which, by the way, we got Williamson back in now, but other than that 78-yard run by Davis, Giles County's defense has played well, and Davis was hard to actually corral, and he's actually down here on the bottom. It's a split out.
Yeah, at the near side. Just below your viewing screen, and that one just above the viewing screen of the eyes of Williamson as it goes over his head. And next to us, we can kind of hear some of the Columbia coaches, and they're not happy.
That's
Giles County's coaches. Okay,
they are happy.
They are happy because that's a loss of a lot. That's from here to Lawrenceburg. I mean, that's a big loss.
It's halfway to Ardmore.
Yep. And this is going to bring up, 4th and 40, close to 4th and 40.
Yeah. And I believe we're going to have Hall back deep to receive the punt. He's just outside the first down marker.
And this is a dangerous guy. We saw a guy in open field, and that's a lot of open field if it's a low kick, but it's a good punt. But Hall will field it at the 50.
Look at him go.
Makes a man miss.
Nice.
And he will go down, maybe a gain of about 5 or 6. But, Scott, you saw the patience. Hall allowed the play to develop. He let his blockers get there, and then he tried to make.
He picked up an extra 8 yards on that, to put the ball in at the 40-yard line in Columbia Central territory. Giles County leads 28-7. We're not quite halfway through the second quarter here, and if this offense keeps clicking like this, what you said earlier is right. We're going to get on up into the 40 and 50s in this ball game if everything keeps clicking this way. And it's really great to see on the first game of the season, regardless of who your opponent is, because there's so many things that you try to work out during practice that you can't simulate.
Cannot simulate, just like the play clock ticking down under 5. Backus looking way downfield, and he uncorks a bomb. Touchdown, K.J. Ziegler.
And on the money.
42 yards.
40
Backus
yards
to Ziegler.
on the 2.
I have a feeling we're going to say that a lot this season.
I mean, he hit him right on the 2 from 40 yards out on the stride. What a throw, what a catch, what a call. And Ziegler has the ability to get lost back there in that secondary because, for once again, there wasn't anybody within 15 or 20 yards of it.
Pending this extra point, last season, we've now eclipsed the combined total of last year's Columbia Central and Bobcat game. It was a total last year
18 to 19.
Yeah, 19 to 18, and we're now 34-7 as the kick is up and good. 35-7 is your score as the Cats are rolling here with 8:41 to go in the second quarter. We'll take another timeout. You're watching Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
Welcome back here. 35-7 is your score as another short pooch kick. This time it's going to hit the ground, and the Cats just can't fall on it. Another very athletic play by Darian Davis, because that is a hard ball. That ball was spinning. He just dove out and grabbed it.
That ball, the receiver, Mosley over here, just let it go.
Yeah.
And Davis was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, Coach O'Connor is as livid as you can be up 35-7 because that definitely should have been recovered by the Cats.
I saw David O'Connor out before the ball game because I went down there to talk to him for a minute, and I asked him how. We didn't talk very long, but I said, "How's it going?" He just said he had that smile on his face. He said, "We'll see." Well, what I've seen so far is going pretty good. They got Davis back in at quarterback,
and Davis going to take from the pistol formation. Going to scramble out. Look at Key McDonald just tracking him down.
Did you see him Did you see Key McDonald take the angle?
He took the angle and then squared his shoulders.
Yeah, right.
And really, and I tell you what,
awesome
Davis. Let's just give you a size comparison there. Hope we get a replay of that one. The 5'9", 160-pound Davis, so we saw run 180 yards. That is a 250-pound, 6'3" middle linebacker that was stride for stride with a 5'9", 160-pound guy. What a great play by Key McDonald.
To have the intelligence, and the football intelligence is the main thing, to and we're going to get a penalty against Giles County. I didn't see what it was. To break off the angle instead of going right at the running back, he broke the angle off. Then he squared on him, made him throw the ball. I don't know what that penalty was. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's a big penalty. Looks like a 15-yard variety. Looks like either a late hit, unsportsmanlike conduct somewhere in that nature. As the snap goes over the head of Davis, he makes another great play. As he's rolling, and he is slammed down
I bet you
to
that's
the ground.
Tanner Holly. I can't see his number.
And that is Tanner Holly.
It just looked like him coming up through there. And McDonald again with the containment on that side. Key McDonald over there containing him because the one thing that they do not want to do is let Davis get her onto the corner. And look, watch
again,
it. He does
Key
it again.
McDonald, though, right there, just, making Davis – he's like, do not touch me, 250-pound middle linebacker. Please do not tackle me.
That's right.
And he ran into Tanner Holly. Second down and 17. Ball on the 40. Nice little screen pass there, and Columbia can't corral it, and it will bring up third down.
I actually think they're lining Key up on the defensive end spot. Is what they're doing. C.J. Bryant's coming out of the middle linebacker spot, but still, it doesn't matter where they're playing. You're right. You got a young man that big that can run that fast as we've seen Davis is. And he's doing a great job of containment, which is what that defensive end's there for, is to keep the containment on that, especially on that short side.
And it's a 4 wide receiver set, third down and 17. 7:44 to play here in the second. Davis, he got a lot of running room.
Look at Key McDonald coming there.
Key McDonald, Scott. What another great play by Key McDonald.
This has been his series. He has single-handedly kept Davis in check. And that time, instead of Davis going outside, he tried to go up the middle, and he met number 10 right there with him again.
And, Scott, Key McDonald's a kid, and I've known this kid a very long time. He has really fought hard to get out on this football field, and you're seeing a very inspired Key McDonald right now.
Now they do have him in the middle.
And snap.
On the punt.
And it's a line drive kick, and we're going to get some running room there. Or he's going to just let it go, and the ball – will go dead at the 18.
If that ball had kicked up to him, he could have run with it.
He probably would have.
But the wet ground, I think, kind of killed the momentum of the ball, and Peyton Hall probably did the right thing since it was so far over there to get to it, to let it go. Although I'm sure his coaches told him don't ever do that.
Yeah, especially on this wet field tonight.
Right.
Wet field tonight, you're not going to do that, as they will mark the ball at the 12-yard line. So for Columbia, that was your best-case scenario. You were pinned way back. Here, as we
got
see.
the big penalty that moved it out to midfield. Yeah. Other than that, they would have lost a whole lot of ground because of the play, like we said, of Key McDonald and the whole defense. That's another thing that we need to talk about. This defense, we talked about the offense, but other than one play, this defense has pretty much been a shutout as far as even with yardage, much less with points.
6:57 to go here in the second. Backus, play action. And this time he will go down. Nice tackle there by number 80. That is David Bailey, 6'2", 222, a freshman from Columbia.
Yeah, Will Anderson, they collapsed the middle of the Giles County line. They came right up the middle. And when you do that, it's easy to avoid those men that are coming from the outside rush. But when they're coming up the middle, man, you're just especially two of them, you're pretty much stuck. It's going to be about a 10, 15-yard loss, and Giles County's going to face about 2nd and 25.
6:20 to go here in the second quarter as the play clock ticks down under 10. Two backs in the backfield with Backus in the shotgun. Backus going to keep it this time.
Room. What a great block right there by Peyton Hall.
And Backus, you see just the intelligence he plays the position as he picks up about I'm going to say he picked up a good 20 yards.
No, he picked up the whole first down. It was 2nd and 25, and he picked up about 30.
That's right, yeah. So he did a 30-yard run there by Backus. He's got 44 yards rushing tonight.
And you can't say enough about Peyton Hall out there blocking, and not just blocking, but didn't get the holding call, which you will see 9 times out of 10 a lot of times in that high school. By a high school receiver. So that's another smart play by Peyton Hall.
Again, Backus, a junior transfer from Athens High School. This time, handoff. Arkell Reed.
Man, it's got the angle on him.
Makes one man miss.
But he took it away.
He is gone. Touchdown, Arkell Arkell Reed. Scott, are you kidding me? 67 yards as he gets into the end zone again. And right now, we're definitely starting to talk about statewide player of the week right here at Mr. Arkell
Well, yeah,
Reed.
I mean, he's going to be over 200 yards right now in the first half with 3 touchdowns. And he could think that right side of that offensive line, but that time he outran a man. And once he got around him, he was gone.
Arkell last year, not quite a 1,000-yard season. He was behind Jordan Tucker. And right now he's like, you know what? It's my time as Mr. Senior Arkell Reed. His third time in the end zone. Jenkins kick up and good. Cats leading this one 42-7, 5:34 to go. Here before halftime, you're watching Bobcat football on Pulaski TV today.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
And welcome back as the Cats leading this one 42-7 as we're in the second quarter with 5:34 to play. Jenkins, a high pooch kick. And they're in the right place, and the Cats can't recover.
Brandon Rowan had it in his hands, and he just couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, he can't advance it. It would have been dead at the 30.
It was one of
but it was right in his hands.
That's got to drive you crazy. Brandon Rowan almost had that ball. Look at him. They're slapping him on the head. Good play by Giles County, and that has been the kickoff all night long.
And it's got to drive. There's certain things, pitching inside. And
right.
It's just one of those things in, basketball, it's that press coverage.
Yep.
I mean, the half court, the full court press. That is the football equivalent of that. It's like, please stop doing that.
Exactly
please stop making us field this. Williamson from the 30. Going to throw it complete. And this is really, honestly, Scott, for a first time in a long time, the first positive play for Columbia.
Right, and out there on the tackle for Giles County was 22. I'm going to get his name here. That's Bryant.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ Bryant out there.
Sejan Jacques Bryant.
Is that his name?
That is his name. I've known CJ a very long time. And CJ, a phenomenal athlete, just a sophomore out there at that linebacker position. Pistol formation, handoff up the middle for the Lions. And, again, nowhere to go against this front wall.
Big Day McElroy in the middle there, along with, real quick, who's Samari Howe as in your defensive tackles. Both those guys clogging up that middle. And then your C.J. Bryant and also Huckabee as your middle linebacker, just stopping that up.
4:47 to go. Second down and 7 here in the second quarter for the Lions. Williamson looking, firing, going to hit a Bobcat in the hip.
Yeah.
And that was Colton Huckabee that he hit right in the hip pad as it'll bring up third down.
Like we said, and I keep repeating this, we talk about how great the offense is doing, but I'm telling you, other than one play, Giles County's defense has pitched a shutout yardage-wise. We're not just talking about score, but they've really not gained that many yards. Columbia hasn't.
And pistol formation, 4 wide receivers here, and here comes McDonald off that edge rush, and this one almost picked off by C.J. Bryant.
What was his first name again?
Sejan Jacques Bryant.
C.J. Bryant Well, he'll be dreaming about that one tonight. It was right in his hands.
I'll tell you a story about CJ. When CJ was just 5 years old, he was in kindergarten, and in kindergarten you got to learn how to write your name.
Right.
And
he couldn't.
His aunt was working with him on writing his name, and he said, "This is stupid. I'll never learn how to write my name." So, Mr. 28-letter full name
went to CJ, and now we got a flag on the field. He's gonna be. I know he'll be thinking about that pass all week long. They'll probably give him a little hard time about that, letting that one slip through. That was going against Giles County. I never saw the referee give the signal on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that it looked like. Maybe an offsides penalty against the Cats. And this time, four wide receivers set, and if you're Columbia, you have no choice. You have to go for it.
Yeah. The midfield down 42-7. You're right.
Williamson in the pistol. Looking downfield, going to fire. Nice little curl route and stays in bounds and gets the first down.
Keegan Potter made the break on the ball, tried to go for the knockaway, and just missed it. And that allowed Columbia to get the first down. And that's really been the hookup. So is Williamson to Brooks.
Yeah, Des Brooks.
That's
looking like Des Bryant out there. I mean, he really did. Made a great catch. He stayed under control and even picked up a few extra yards. Ball on the 35. Columbia got a little momentum going. And this guy, he's got a lot of momentum going. And he's going to pick up about 15 yards. And that's a guy, Scott, we called his name about
that's what
5
I
or
was
6
going to say.
times.
They're going back to what they did early, which they had a little success with. Ran the big guy up the middle and then threw the ball outside to Brooks. They had a little bit of success with that early. They went away from it.
Yeah, so. Andre Martin on the carry, 15-yard pickup for Andre Martin, the senior, 5'10", 220 in the backfield. And we're going to get a timeout from the Bobcats. And we'll be right back on Pulaski TV today. The Giles County Bobcats leading 42-7, 4 minutes to go before halftime.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and juries make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Juries may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you at every important step.
I'm a weekend, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
All right, welcome back. 42-7, and Scott, that's not a typo. That is your score tonight. 42-7, as the Cats are rolling at home in the home opener.
It's been a dominant first half for Giles County, both offensively and defensively. Columbia has been able to move the ball here on this series, going back to what they were doing originally, which was right up the middle with the running back. Now they're going to hand off on the sweep.
Going to do the end around and going to be brought down. Nice tackle there, Tanner Holly. He was wrapped up from below by C.J. Bryant, and Holly
cleaned it up.
Took him on down.
That's right. And that's good pursuit. The one thing we have seen out of Giles County is great pursuit, especially from the linebackers and defensive end. And we talked about Key McDonald earlier. But just like that, Holly came from, I think he lines up on that left side. He came all the way from the left side to clean that up.
3:37 to go here before halftime. And I promise you right now, Coach David O'Connor, he wants a stop here. He wants a turnover.
Yeah.
And they just might get one. Williamson. Looks like he moves before the snap. No call, though.
Oh,
and
that was almost picked off.
And it was going to be a touchdown. Des Brooks gets in the end zone as 42-13 is your score. Good comeback there because you're down 35 points on the road in your first game. And Columbia, they've mustered it in 28 points at halftime. If they can get a stop here, they could potentially get back in this football game.
Right, that's exactly right. And, they think if you can, you say you get a turnover, next thing you know, if you score another touchdown, you're only down, down by 3 scores instead of 5 scores.
And the extra point is up and good. So a little recap of kind of what's been going on tonight. Let me give you just the rundown of Arkell Reed. This has really been the offensive line show.
It has.
And Arkell Reed is kind of like in those late 90s TV shows, and it says also starring Arkell Reed, because this line is just
and the rest is
yeah.
That's right.
And Reed, 25-yard carry, 25-yard pass completion, 25-yard run, a 1-yard run, a 30-yard run, a 20-yard run, a 50-yard run, and a 78-yard run.
Yeah.
A phenomenal night so far for
3
Arkell
touchdowns.
Reed. 3 touchdowns.
And then the quarterback, John Backus, has thrown 2 touchdowns to or has he thrown 3? He threw one to Peyton Hall and 2 to Ziegler, so it's three touchdown passes for Backus.
Arkell Reed, 238 yards rushing in the first half.
Oh, Jordan Tucker going to be jealous.
He's going to be and you know what? We're not closing on that territory yet, but Jordan Tucker did set the school record last year.
400.
Yeah, he had 400-something yards rushing.
Yeah.
We'll have to find that out if this keeps up. Kicks away. It's going to be fielded by Davis at the 5.
Flag down.
There's a flag down, but
That's
Davis
never good.
is gone. Yeah, he's gone. What another? It's going to be a flag.
Probably going to come back.
But again.
But what a great play. He hit his wedge perfect. He went right through it. Broke a couple of tackles. He was in the end zone. But that's almost every time you see a flag on a kickoff.
Trying to watch these kids celebrate.
Oh, no, they're having a ball.
Looking, he's like, oh, there's a flag. They just look so.
He's like, man, what's
I mean,
up with
it's
that?
possible. It could have been a face mask. I mean, chop block.
Yeah.
And it's coming back.
Yeah. What is it? 99.9% of the time a flag hits the field on a kickoff, it's against the return team.
Yeah,
so.
very rarely are you going to see a flag.
Hate to see that happen. That was a great run by Davis.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who that was called on, but it was a chop block below the knee. And these are the rules that we're happier in football.
Right.
You gotta protect these kids, and we're slowly learning that this is a dangerous sport. There's really no other way about it, and all the rules to protect these kids, and even adults in the NFL. We've got to have these kind of rules in this sport.
Yeah, you want to protect their knees on that. That's you don't want people, and then there's nobody saying it was done on purpose. You know, sometimes in the heat of the battle, you just end up there, and all of a sudden, and there's obviously I don't think there's any malice in that, but
no.
But that happens. I hate to see that big long touchdown run come back, but 3 minutes left. Giles County's got plenty of time to go and score again.
Plenty of time for the Cats as Backus is in the shotgun. Backus looking, a little screen pass, and throws it out to, I believe that's number 16. And that's a late hit out of bounds as they throw.
That's Cameron Harrison. We were talking about him at the beginning of the – he's a dual-threat quarterback. He's the backup quarterback, and they said he could come in and contribute on the offensive line, in the offense. And we saw that out of the backfield. He takes that pass from Backus. He goes, 15 yards, and now they're going to tack on another 10 or 15 with the late hit. And Giles County's going to be in business again here right near midfield.
And you can see the frustration
over midfield
on Columbia. This is a team that
wow. I mean, way over. It was a 15-yard personal foul, late hit on top of where he got to. So it's about a 30-yard gain after it's all said and done.
3 wide receivers to the left is Backus. Another nice little screen pass. He gets it to Peyton Hall. Peyton Hall makes a man miss. Peyton Hall getting in space, and Peyton Hall
they can't grab him.
Gets it down inside close to the 12-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 38 yards for Peyton Hall.
There was a defender that was it was before this that had him when he caught the ball.
Yeah.
And he ran away from him in like 2 steps. And then watch him. He gets in. There's 4 of them around him, but they can't grab him. And so finally they get him. It takes 2 or 3 of them when they finally get a hold of him.
Monstrous shot at the end of that play as he picks up 38 for Peyton Hall. Backus under center. handoff, Arkell Reed, and Reed going nowhere. And, I think Coach David O'Connor will be content to go to, not let Columbia get the ball back.
Yeah, with a chance to score
with
again.
A chance to score again.
Go ahead and use up. But now Arkell is down. I don't know what, grabbing at that ankle, it looks like. They were trying to go over that right side again. We need to.
That looks like a cramp.
Yeah,
to me.
He's grabbing. Look, he's grabbing his toe. That's what it is.
That's all. And that I tell you what, for Bobcat fans, when Arkell Reed is down, those are the words you do not want to hear.
Yeah, you want to hear cramp.
You want to hear cramp.
That's right. If it's going to be anything, but we can't say enough. We need to go over it again. Talk about this offensive line.
Yeah.
Center Jared Roberts. Your tackles Devontae Murphy and Morgan Witt. Your guards Trillian Marks and Brian Westmoreland. They actually have Murphy and Witt playing on the same side over there together. So one of those guys has moved into the guard position. But Devontae Murphy and Morgan Witt have been a power on that right side, and they have run almost exclusively over that side. And Arkell Reed, as you said, has gained the benefits of those two men being there. But, like I said, Jared Roberts is, you talk about the center. Jared Roberts has been with this program all 4 years. He's been part of the, played and been a contributor for 4 years. He's like the quarterback up there on that line. He's a huge part of this success, along with Trillian Marks and Brian Westmoreland. Those guys, Brighton Westmoreland, they're doing a great job on that offensive line. And even Backus, other than a couple of times, has had plenty of time to move around, especially up the middle. We talked about that when they got a couple of men up the middle. Backus was, he couldn't really do anything, but most of the pressure that he has had has been off the ends.
Yeah, right now we're just seeing that the Bobcats, Scott, I'm trying to think. This may be the most weapons I can remember that the Bobcats have. They have so many different guys who can do so many different things. Going to be a shotgun formation. Backus with 4 wide receivers. Going to step up in the pocket. Going to make a man miss. And a touchdown, John Backus.
A stroll in the park touchdown right there.
Just a little whistle, and whistle while you work as you walk into the end zone on a 12-yard touchdown run by John Backus with 1:35 to go here in the first half.
It's been a score fest for Giles County here in this first half, and you kind of wonder what they're going to follow it up with in the second half. This is the kind of problem you like to have. What do we do now? You just keep running that offense, and there's your man. Your new quarterback for Giles County High School, John Backus, came in with some, pretty high expectations. And I'll tell you what, he stepped into that role of Giles County High School quarterback and done a pretty good job, which is it's been a pretty prestigious, been some pretty good players come through that position over the last 10 years for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to Bo Wallace, that quickly transitioned into Al Cobb, which transitioned into Trevor Holder,
right.
Which transitioned into
Jordan
Tucker's running game.
Yeah, that's right.
As just waiting here for this extra point. Good to see, and I'm going to hazard to guess Arkell Reed's night is done. If he's had a cramp tonight and, you have 238 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and you're leading 48-14, I believe his night.
You'd like to say, definitely. You want to get other players, and you want to get other players playing time, and I would venture to guess I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see him again. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, scoring points. It doesn't. There is no BCS. It doesn't matter. How many points.
That's right.
You score. You just got to win it. And a great start to the season. There's Deshaun Williams to hold. The kick by Jenkins is up and good. And the Cats lead it 49-14 as we near the end of the second quarter. A quick timeout. You're watching Pulaski TV Today, presentation of Giles County football.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, Contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
Welcome back. 49-14 is your score as Jedediah Jenkins sets to kick it off, and Columbia's like, please.
Look,
please,
they've got Davis down here to catch it
Yeah.
now. They've given up on number 17.
There's the high kick again.
And that's going to be a personal
I'm
foul.
not sure how that's and Sky, I don't agree with that call because he did not fair catch the ball, and he was not out of bounds.
I thought I saw him wave. I really do. But Coach O'Connor's down there, and he's not happy about it, so maybe he did.
I really don't think he waved. I was watching down there, and he just caught it and stood there.
They're going to say he called for a fair catch. That's what he's going to do.
Let's see.
No,
definitely
wrong.
no fair catch.
take
And he
that
was
back.
in bounds.
Yes.
He was clearly in bounds. And O'Connor, he's like, you know what? I might as well get another 15-yarder.
So he got, well, yeah, you might as well. And I'd be mad about it, too, because, like I said, he was down there. He knows what happened. I could say what I want to about what I thought happened. But
normally, you kind of question a coach when he's 6 feet from the play. He was literally 6 feet from the player.
He's got every right to be angry about that. We saw the replay, and that ball was live. That player was live.
I'm not sure unless before the camera angle. I mean, unless he literally, as soon as he touched the ball with his foot,
he went ahead and did it.
Just threw his hand up and put it back down. But he definitely did not call a fair catch when that ball was at its apex.
So they're going to tack on 30. It's the best play they've had all night.
That is it. And these are the kind of plays that can inspire defense and kind of get them
a little fired up
to make those plays.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and look, he's in bounds. I mean, clearly in bounds. And the flag goes up, and Coach O'Connor immediately sprints down.
He's like, whoa, wait a minute.
And
4 wide outs this time they get the offense rolling.
Yeah, gotta wonder if the Bobcats can come up with a interception right here. I'm gonna go on a limb and say they do. I'm gonna say that this is it.
They've been close a couple times.
They've been so close.
Yeah. Tanner Holly almost had that one that they scored on.
Tanner Holly, C.J. Bryant, both of those have came very close to the interception. And if you're Columbia, you've got to throw the ball. You're down 28 points. This is gonna be a nice little slant route to Darian Davis. And, Scott, I'm going to say this right now. Without Darian Davis, this team would probably not have any points right now.
I think you're right. He definitely scored the one touchdown and then was key in their drive down.
And it looks like we have another player down.
Yeah, Brandon Rowan made that tackle on that, and I'm not sure if he's cramping or – not sure what happened to him.
That's a very awkward position to see somebody sitting in it, unless it is a cramp.
It wasn't like a head-to-head or
he's
it's
rubbing.
a cramp. Look, he's rubbing that. That calf muscle goes to cramp. Give him a banana. It'll be okay because get the potassium in him there.
I'll tell you what, that calf muscle will put you on the ground.
Oh yes, buddy, quick.
There's another.
It was a good play.
It was a good.
Yeah, he went. He didn't go high,
and he just immediately moved into that position and grabbed that calf muscle.
C.J. Bryant helping him there on the tackle. Yep. So you get a little potassium in him there, he'll be all right. Get him some fluids. And
as Rowan going off the field, Rowan is a junior, so it's a guy that you're going to see 2 years of. Again, stand out of Bridgeforth, great running back in the backfield with Nookie Johnson.
They had a great backfield. Back when he played it, who was on in that team with him?
It was Nookie Johnson. Was his little
Key was on that team.
Key was on that team.
Yeah,
Nookie and Man.
That's
Brandon
right.
Rowan.
That's right. Exactly right. Man, that's it seems like just a couple of years ago, but it's hard to believe it's already been about 4 years.
It's been a while, As shotgun formation, Williamson looking
Nobody
downfield. And it's incomplete. And, Scott, it looked like the weather was a factor there. Like it slipped just out of the hand of Williamson when he released it.
Well, I'll say this, too. You had good coverage over there. He wanted to go to Brooks again, but Brooks was covered real well. And very last minute, he saw Davis over there on the sideline, and I think he kind of, because he altered who he was wanting to throw to, it kind of made him throw it a little high, too. So the credit to coverage from Giles County. And, of course, over on that side, you got Potter and Trent Burns.
And this is a big play right here. 2nd down and 10, 1:24 to go here in the first half, with the Cats leading 49-14. Williamson dropping back, looking, and
almost at him. Jaquez White is not giving up.
No. And C.J. Bryant just goes low and takes him out. And he's kind of limping right now, so you wonder if he's kind of cramping up as well.
It's amazing. I did not realize how many seniors Giles County has coming back this year. There's a lot of seniors on this team.
That's what I said. This is a senior-laden ball club.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It explains a lot as we have a timeout here with 1:09 left in the first half. 3rd and 6 will be coming up when they get back out there on the field. But there are a lot of seniors on this team, and like you say, it explains a lot of the poise that they have this early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, we talk. I don't think you can say enough about what it means to have, all credit to previous coaching staffs.
Yeah.
But 119 wins and 49 losses with this program, it just speaks to Coach David O'Connor.
Yeah, and exactly. But like you say, the previous coaching staff, they did their part to help these kids come along. And Scott Blair and those guys, once Coach Smith was gone, they did a really good job of taking what they had and bringing the team along. They really regrouped in the last part of that season. And that's probably when a lot of these guys that are seniors this year turned it around. Now you bring in a coach like David O'Connor and his staff, and you're seeing the results you get out of that.
So it's pistol formation, 4 wide receivers set for the Lions on 3rd down and 6. Screen pass to Martin. It's going to be complete. And it looks like Martin will pick up the first down.
Huckabee was the first. Do you pronounce that Huckabee?
I believe it's Huckabee. I really do believe it's Huckabee.
Okay. Huckabee made the first contact there for Giles County. Of course, he had some help once he got him slowed down. But like you said, it is going to be first down. You got just under a minute left here in the first half.
It's going to be 4 wide receivers for Columbia. Williamson looking. He's got a little running room.
There's Jaquez White.
Not very much as Jaquez White takes him down.
He's been chasing him around back there for the whole series, and he's finally got a hold of him. But now Jaquez is down. I think he's probably going to have a cramp too.
And I'll tell you one thing I'll tell you about the Bobcats is knowing this program, one thing they do have their players drink is they drink pickle juice.
Yeah.
To kind of get over cramps. That's one thing that
I always heard that. I'm assuming it works.
Yeah, they definitely drink the pickle juice, and I'm not sure this one may not be a cramp though.
Yeah, it may not be. I'm no physiologist.
No,
I'm not sure about how the pickle juice works.
But it's 44 seconds here before halftime, as the Cats leading it 49-14. Scott, looks like one indication is the Richland Raiders that are in action tonight.
Yeah.
Against Sale Creek, and I believe they have the lead tonight.
Last I saw, they were up like 22. It's 22-10 last I saw. So, it's good to see the Raiders having success on the field. And I really like what's been going on up there for the last few years with Coach Moose.
Yeah.
And obviously don't want to throw out congratulations yet till we know they've won, because we're talking about not jinxing anything. Right. But we sure hope our friends up there at Linville are able to hold on to that and get their first win of the season.
Yeah, it looks like could be a good night across Giles County, as the Cats firmly in control of this one, 49-14. Really, 2nd down and 7 as the clock runs.
Really want to keep them out of this end zone. Something fierce.
Under 40. Williamson looking. He's got a little room. Fires in the end zone. Guess who it is, Scott? Des Brooks.
That guy can catch, man.
He can.
He's pretty tall. He's got some pretty good hands on him.
And another touchdown. And it keeps them within reach.
Yeah.
They had to have that touchdown. It's now 49-20. pending the extra point.
Been pretty impressed with Williams on these last couple of drives. He's got a pretty good arm on him and is able to find the receivers.
Well, you know, the Columbia Central Lions, they're no slouch. If you're the starting quarterback, Columbia Central, you're probably a pretty good player. Kick up, right down the middle. And the Lions trailing the Bobcats after the extra point goes in, 49-21. Cats lead it. We'll be right back. You're watching Pulaski TV Day's presentation of Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
All right, welcome back here as the Cats leading at 49-21 as Carroll sets the kick off for the Lions. And they're going to probably try to kick this one deep. And it's a squib. Going to be just fallen on by, I believe that's Key McDonald. Nope,
No,
excuse me, number
16.
16.
Yeah, it's Cameron Harrison.
Cameron Harrison.
Hey, real quick, we saw Andy Hoover there as we came back. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. If you enjoy our broadcast here on 3P TV, Pulaski TV today, we want to thank Andy Hoover, Benchmark, and of course we want to thank Pulaski Electric System, who obviously makes this possible, and Via Media. So thank you guys for your sponsorship of our broadcast here every week that Giles County is at home.
Yeah, Pulaski Electric.
Except for 2 weeks from now when they're going to be in Lawrenceburg.
Yep, the cowbell, and we will be there.
That one too.
Backus. This time, play action. Scotty fooled everybody. Looking downfield and firing just over the head.
So
it looks like Jaquez White.
And there was nothing wrong with that play right there, the way he ended up. Everybody was covered. He had Jaquez White. If he hit him, yeah, great. But throw it up where there's no mistakes. And, you know, if Jaquez doesn't come down with it, you stop the clock, and you got 2nd and 10. I mean, you only got 25 seconds left. So that was a smart play. I'm really impressed with the poise and the just.
Well, it's discipline. You see, he didn't try to take the shot downfield. Right. He just like, you know what, throw it out of bounds.
Right.
And let's move on. Backus, handoff up the middle.
Peyton. No, that's Harrison again.
That's Harrison. Can pick up about 8.
Cameron Harrison is your backup quarterback. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to look. I think he's a junior.
He's a junior.
He's actually a dual threat quarterback who will play in the running back and wide receiver, and that's going to end the first half. And
at the end of the first half of football of the 2016 campaign, the Cats nearly hang half a century mark on them, 49-21. You're watching Pulaski TV's today's presentation of Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
Go.
I've got my closest friends over to watch the game on cable. Did you know you can advertise your local business during this cable program? Via Media represents the advertising for your cable system. They could put a TV commercial for you right here on this system during this show. Let Via Media help you. Call Via Media today or viamediatv.com.
And welcome back in here. It's halftime. Cats leading this one 49-21. Scott, a great you couldn't have drawn it up better if you're Coach David O'Connor.
I think you go back a couple of weeks ago and you say, Coach, you're going to be up 49-21 after the after the first 2 quarters, and he would have taken it and gone on to the house.
Yeah.
And not just offensively, defensively. Although Columbia has been able to put a little offense together in the back half of the first half, Giles County's defense has played well, but it's been offense, and they have clicked from the – really, you take the first possession away, they've clicked from the get-go.
I think what you're seeing is just you've saw so many different playmakers so far on this roster. We've seen KJ Ziegler pick up a touchdown. We've seen 2 touchdowns. We've seen Arkel Reed 3 touchdowns. But, honestly, as crazy as this sounds – there's John Backus just quietly back there piling up statistics.
Yeah,
and
he's knocked down.
He's not really had to do a whole lot except make the throws he's supposed to make.
3 touchdown passes, a touchdown run. I don't know what you can ask of a man for his debut as a Giles County High School Bobcat.
No.
Any more than that. It's going to be interesting to see what they do to come back. This game is almost a perfect situation for Coach O'Connor in that they made some mistakes early that he can lean on in practice next week. The defense has allowed enough points scored. You can lean on them a little bit on those mistakes. You got enough mistakes where you can learn, but unless something amazing happens, Giles County is going to get that. Going to go out there, got a very good chance. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
to get that first W of the season.
And you can't win them all if you don't win the first one.
That's right.
No, there's not a lot of expectation for this team. Like nobody. They're not projected to go, a lot of wins. No. There's a lot of unknowns with this team.
There was a lot of question marks coming in, and
we found lots of answers tonight.
They've answered a lot of those question marks tonight. And, it's like you said, 49 points in the first half. Of course, 49-21 is your score. Yeah. They could. There's a couple other touchdowns they left out there.
Right.
So, it's maybe one of the most prolific offensive performances we've seen in the first half of Giles County High School football ever.
All right, we're going to get right back into the action. You're watching Pulaski TV Day's presentation of Giles County football.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and juries make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Juries may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you at every important step.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
All right, welcome back. Just a short pooch kick again. That time, Davis, he waved, so, Scott, you could have been up at Sonic, and you would have saw him waving that time.
He was waving at somebody over at Hardee's to make sure they saw it.
He wanted to make sure. As I'm looking to see – I don't see a whole lot of substitutions right now because, the game is still in the balance. It's 48-21. You
put 49 up in the first half. They could put 49 on you. You better be careful. So, they're right there at the 37, right at the 40-yard line, excuse me.
Coming out, it will be Williamson back under center. Like a little early start here by Davis, but no call. Martin, a host of Bobcats.
C.J. Bryant, D. McElroy coming up off the pile. There's White, Jaquez White. That's number 11. Who's that? We got Austin Norwood coming out of the pile, and Key McDonald. Also Huckabee. Just like you said, a host of Bobcats coming up out of the pile after that 5-yard gain.
It's good to see. We've seen just such good pursuit tonight.
Yeah.
We've seen them, and a lot of containment. Like Key McDonald's been really good about keeping that quarterback in the pocket.
Yeah, the containment. They haven't gotten a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but they have done a good job of containing the anybody who's trying to get outside on them.
Hand off up the middle. This time Martin again.
And once again, just name them
7
all off.
Bobcats. I mean, as they come off the pile, there's Bryant, there's White, there's
Brandon Rowan in on that. And
Huckabee.
then I think the man leading the charge there was Samari Howe on the defensive line. And we've tried to give as much love as we can, but we cannot overexpress how good the line play for Giles County has been, both sides of the ball tonight. And it's really been a key to this ball game.
Yes, it has been. It's very key. It's just been Columbia's inability to establish an offensive line presence, and Giles County's defensive line. Just Columbia's been under pressure all night.
The middle has been where Giles County is. Columbia's made most of their damage, but man, they've clamped that down so far.
Nowhere to go, quarter. And that was a third down in about 3 play, and you got to think Columbia goes for it here.
Yeah, I'd say they're anytime they're going to be near midfield tonight. The rest of the night they're going for it, down 28 points.
And it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's pretty close. They're kind of eyeing it, but I don't think the referee's going to give it to them.
No, I think they're just shy. And really interesting matchup. Look to the far side of your screen right now is Brooks one-on-one coverage, because right now there's no cat that could get over there right now. So this is probably where the ball's going to go, to that far side.
Keegan Potter is over there in coverage, but I would think that they're just going to try to hand this ball off.
This false start.
Yeah, that is a false start, and that makes that 4th down
a little tougher to convert.
A little tougher. It's going to be about 5.5 yards now instead of a half yard, and that's a little gift to Giles County by the Columbia player.
And there's been a lot of penalties here tonight, and that's probably typical in your first game of the season. But with a 49-point lead, 41-21 for the Cats, there's a lot they can work on this week. We had these penalties. There's going to be plenty. Even in very rarely you're up 49 points, and there's a lot you can work on.
Right, exactly, and the coaches love that. They love to get the win, and then they love to have something to ride the players about during practice. So here's the punt.
Williamson back deep to punt, and this one is not very good.
Did he get the hand on it?
And
there was a player getting in there close.
No,
I don't know.
He just kicked it straight
just
up.
Just a bad punt.
Just a bad punt, and it barely made it to the first down marker. So
it's about a 6-yard punt.
Not a very good punt there. As the conditions, we just saw a lot of rain before we came back.
Right. It rained hard at halftime. That's the reason why the band didn't come out. So it started off as a little sprinkle, and there was a good downpour, like we needed more of it at this point on that football field. But the football field's held up well. The ball, we've seen the ball slip a few times, but for the most part, the weather has not affected.
Backus under center with Reed.
As soon as I say that.
It's a fumble.
Reed able to cover that up.
Yep.
I don't know if that was a ball slip, or I think he actually hit the linemen or the fullbacks with that ball before he got to turn around and hand it off. So it's going to lose a couple of yards.
Again, Arkel Reed, just his 8th carry of the night. 8 carries for 235 yards with 3 touchdowns.
That's a pretty good first half, Cody.
I said, I'm not so sure we're not watching the Oregon Ducks. I mean, this is what it's kind of reminding me of, just that quick scoring, quick pace.
Backus going to go empty back there.
And Backus has 8-19 to go here in the third. Backus rocket arm complete across the middle to Knox Birdsong on the completion, just short of the first down. Great catch by Birdsong.
Knox is another player that we mentioned. If you saw the Pulaski Citizens football program, that's another player that Coach O'Connor mentioned. And, of course, Knox is just a sophomore.
Yeah.
And he stuck that ball in and he hung on to it. The one thing that Backus has no problem with is velocity. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, for a high school quarterback, he had definitely a plus arm. I mean, he really on his fastball, he's throwing it 40 plus.
It's lively.
It's a lively fastball.
Tanner Holly's in now in that Wildcat formation.
It is the Wildcat. Holly Going to keep it, goes up the middle, and this right side of the line continues to just make roads and roads for these Giles County.
And that's right off the
backs.
middle. That's right off of Jared Roberts up there. Who else is? It's off of Trillion Mark. That play is going right up the middle.
Yep.
And of course they swapped it up a little bit. They've moved Witt now over to the left side at tackles. It's more of what we expected with Devontae Murphy on the right side and Witt on the left side. Those two guys were making some big holes in the first half when they were lined up side by side.
Backus, another fastball to Birdsong. Going to pick up about 12, and that's another first down for the Cats.
Yeah, Knox Birdsong is a player that I actually have seen him play a lot of baseball. Yeah,
yep.
he's a really good baseball player.
Yep.
And I knew he played football, but he's broken in here as a sophomore.
That he has. And, this is a tough – to get on the field as a sophomore says a lot. Backus this time going to be incomplete. Pass intended for Brandon Rowan as it goes right over his head.
He was hit pretty quick as soon as that ball got to him by Dontrell Benderman. How about that name for a football player? He kind of bent him a little bit.
Yeah.
So Benderman stopped that play, and that slows down Giles County a little bit where they're going to be now facing second down and 10.
Second and 10, 7 minutes to go here in the third as the Giles County Bobcats come out of the I formation with Reed at the tailback position.
Jaquez White busted that wide open. Did you see that?
He did, and fourth touchdown of the night for Mr. R. Kel Reed. Are you kidding me? Again, 4 touchdowns for R. Kel Reed.
If we got that to roll back, I'd like to see that again because watch Jaquez White get in that hole and bust that open. They went over that right side again, and which I believe you had Trillion Marks and Devontae Murphy over there. But we'll look at it after this extra point if we've got it.
And there it is right here.
I mean, look, Jaquez, he held up two guys. Yeah.
2 guys.
Yeah.
And Reed just does the rest. Tell you what, to beat these Cats, it's going to take somebody who has a mighty fine defensive line this season.
Right.
Because this offensive line's been phenomenal tonight. Jedediah Jenkins' kick is up and good. Cats lead it 56-21 with 6:54 to go here in the third quarter. You're watching Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County football. We'll be back in just a moment.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
Welcome back. You see the fans still staying down there on the fences. I believe they probably sought shelter during the rainstorm that blew through here just a little bit ago. You can see the ground still wet as 6:54 to go here in the third. And Jenkins set to kick off as the clock, I believe, will run, Scott, with a 35-point lead.
In the second half, yes.
In the second half for the Cats. Davis fair catch at the 35, and that's what they'll take over.
Well, hey, we want to throw out a quick shout-out. We talked about them earlier. As in the third quarter, Richland is up 38-10 on Sale Creek. Caleb Briggs is having a huge night. Scored at least 3 touchdowns so far. And we want to go ahead and give Richland a shout-out for their success so far. And like, as we said earlier, we're hoping that they'll hold on and get that first W of the year.
Again, Sale Creek, an opponent they defeated last season to open the campaign. And hope they can continue upon that tonight as the Cats look like they're well in control, headed to their first win of the season as a man goes in motion for the Lions. Handoff, And, again, great pursuit. C.J. Bryant and number 4, Keegan Potter.
C.J. working from the middle out and gets a hold of the running back, and then Brandon Rowan comes and helps him wrap that up. It's just good team defense that we've seen from Giles County. There's been a few holes and they haven't been able to get a lot of forward pressure, but they've done a good job of containing them for the most part.
Just a sophomore again, C.J. Bryant making those plays. Cat's going to shift late on the line. 3 down linemen. Screen pass goes over to
great play.
Brooks.
It's like they knew it was coming to.
Yeah, nowhere to go. Keegan Potter and Tanner Holly right there on the tackle.
They were just waiting for it almost to the point that somebody probably could have turned around and picked that one off. Great play by Potter and Tanner Holly out there. You saw Giles County's defense adjust, almost like they knew that quick screen was coming as your lineman adjusted out to that side.
We know the preparation from this coaching staff is second to none. These are some guys. They put in the long hours, burning the midnight oil. Is right now 3rd down 11 for Williamson, looking deep, firing downfield, and Brooks has got it.
Look at Keegan Potter hang on though.
Keegan Potter hangs on. What a great play by Des Brooks. And Scott, we're seeing a star right here in Des Brooks.
Yeah, and Williamson got his bell rung on the end of that. He hung in there. I didn't see who it was that hit him, but that's a great play by 3 men. Williamson, Brooks, and then Keegan Potter stayed right there with Brooks and would not let him go and stop the touchdown. And those kind of plays are the kind of plays that help you win football games in the long run.
It's a pickup of about 60 as we tick under 5 to play in the 3rd quarter, as Williamson and the Lions finding a little momentum here in the second half. Handoff up the middle.
That's been nowhere in the second half.
You might as well take that play and let's just look through the playbook and let's go. Let's just take this one out. Let's not run that one again.
Key McDonald and D. McElroy plugging up that middle, and they have done that pretty much the whole second half. They've been able to hold that play off. Columbia has not really been able to run around the ends on them. So the only play that they really got left is passing it to Brooks.
You look at the Lions fan. Looks like they're getting ready to go back to Columbia here pretty soon. Williamson fires incomplete.
Good coverage out there by Austin Norwood, as he's got the coverage on number 18. Bryson Bollinger. So good job out there on that island on the corner for Austin Norwood.
Yeah, really good job. I've been really impressed with, you lose a guy, they've lost some players in the secondary. And you tell you what, they've not missed a beat here tonight. 3rd down and 10. Definitely this is 2-possession football for the Lions. Yeah. In that pistol formation, 4 wide receivers as Williamson looking under duress, going to roll out right, looking downfield, fires, and I believe he was inbound, Scott.
It's close. He was dragging.
Touchdown.
Yeah, he drug that 1 foot. That was another one of those plays where Giles County had good coverage. Of course, the play broke on them, which is even harder to cover, and that took that throw right to the sideline to score that touchdown. And that man drug that foot, I believe. I don't know if we got that on replay or not, but we'll look at it here in a minute if we do for the extra point, after the extra point.
Carroll to kick the extra point. Kick up. Kick. Good. 56-27 your score. Now 28 as the Cats are doubling up the Lions. You're watching Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County football.
Go.
I've got my closest friends over to watch the game on cable. Did you know you can advertise your local business during this cable program? Via Media represents the advertising for your cable system. They could put a TV commercial for you right here on this system during this show. Let Via Media help you. Call Via Media today or viamediatv.com.
All right, welcome back. 56-28, Cats doubling up the Lions from Columbia as we are under 3:25 to play. But as Scott, again, the clock will stop running again. So Giles County needs to put it back in the end zone if they want that.
That's right, and that was a great. Like I said, as this game has gone on, I've got really impressed with Williamson. Obviously impressed with Brooks, who didn't catch that pass, but Williamson has come along and really made some good throws.
It's going to be an onside kick, going to be fielded and just picked up and falling on the ground. That's Austin Norwood. Called his name several times tonight on the defensive side of the ball, and you know what? That's not an easy play to make, especially in the rain. And you're not in that middle of that wedge. You're not expecting that ball.
Well, I'll tell you this, too. You talked about we've called Austin Norwood's name a lot. Think about how many different players' names we've called tonight already in this season.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been plays made by players all over the field. And that is the kind of that's the kind of thing you want to see as a football coach, especially in game number 1,
Yeah, that's right. So, and you can't speak enough about opening the season. Usually coaches play a little close to the vest, have their guys they're used to, Coach David O'Connor, he is just throwing it all out.
We'll have a timeout for Giles County. Don't know. They must have seen. Coaches must have seen something they weren't expecting or weren't happy to see. We can recap some of the numbers from the first half. Of course, Arkell Reed. Did you have any numbers for Backus in that first half? The quarterback.
No, I never got around to totaling. Okay. He has 44 yards rushing with a touchdown, and he's completed a pass to Barnett for 40, to Ziegler for 38 was a touchdown. Ziegler for 42.
He's in the 200 to 300 yard area as far as passing goes. Yep. 3 touchdown passes, a touchdown rushing. Arkell Reed now with 4 rushing touchdowns. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 in the first half, and of course Arkell had up to about 235 yards. I don't think have we even seen Arkell in the second half? I don't.
Well, when he scored the touchdown, he scored
he
scored the touchdown. Yeah. But this game, it's in that almost sweet spot. You can't bring in the subs just yet.
No.
And you've got to keep playing to try to win this game. And for you at home, that's probably pretty fun. Is Backus? He's going to keep this one. Going to get a nice block over here. He's going to get out close to the 50-yard line. And that was a nice block there by number 2.
You talked about looking like Al Cobb. Did that not look like Al Cobb right there?
I'm telling you.
I mean, it did. It looked a lot like Al Cobb. And, just the way he carried the ball, the way he faked the handoff, it's almost a carbon copy as far as that play went.
You hear this word thrown around a lot, a field general.
Yeah.
Well, he really is. He has managed this football game tremendously so far.
Arkell's back in there in the backfield again.
With 4 wide receivers. This time going to be the keep by Backus. He's going to pick up about 9 yards.
So I think Backus is a little bigger than Al.
I tell you what, he's even bigger.
Yeah.
When every time there's a new play or something, and you talk and you hear the talk around town, oh, he's about 6'4". He's about he's 6'4". Yeah, he's 6'4". He's 230 pounds. He is a load to bring down, and he is. I'm blown away. This is his first game,
right? And
he hasn't been on the team 2 months. Backus looking, firing, complete, and that was to number 21, Tyler Barnett. As Barnett gets his second completion of the night.
So he pulled that down like he was going to run it, almost the old Tebow play.
I was thinking the jump pass.
Yeah, but he didn't jump. But he didn't jump with it, right?
Yeah. and it's so funny. You get so used to it in basketball. You're like, oh, he traveled. You can't do that.
Cam Newton used to do it too. He'd do that little duck and pull back and throw. That's kind of what he did.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the far side, 1 to the near. Backus looking,
got
firing.
A man, look at him.
Oh my goodness, what a pass! Inside the 5-yard line, he hits his man, Peyton Hall, and that's a pickup of about 32.
Now, what you can see there is how Peyton Hall worked inside the defense. He was inside of 4 defenders, but he worked the open area, and Backus caught him running down that seam and put him right there at 1st and goal.
1st down and goal. Backus hands off up the middle.
Gonna run behind that big old line for
5
touchdown number 5.
Touchdowns for Arkell Reed.
That's a handful.
That is. I believe that's more than he had all last season. I think he had 4.
I can tell you here in just a minute probably.
Yeah, I think he had 4 touchdowns last season. So Arkell Reed gets in the end zone again from 3 yards out.
As I look at my Pulaski Citizen, by the way, I hope Ricky Lee don't mind me plugging the Pulaski Citizen here. 4 touchdowns all year.
So he has 5. in the first game of the season as the Cats lead at 62-28 over the Lions of Columbia.
Somebody better pat that offensive line on the back tonight and all week next week.
And kick up. Kick good. Cats lead at 63-28. You're watching Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County football. We'll be back in just a moment.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and jurors make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Jurors may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you in every step.
63-28 is your score as the Cats in firm command of this one, leading the Lions of Columbia as still a packed house on the Giles County side and not so much on the Lions side as it's just been really sensational is all I can think of for this Giles County offense.
There's an onside kick by Giles
And that's
County.
just –
and they got it.
Oh.
And it was 28 for Giles County that recovered that, and that was Deshaun Williams.
Are they going to say did it go 10 yards?
It went 10 yards.
Yeah, I believe it did.
Absolutely went 10 yards.
It looks like the officials – no, they're going to give it to Columbia.
Well, maybe.
I don't think it went 10 yards.
Well,
it was very close.
When he recovered it, I think it was across the 50-yard line, but somebody may have touched it before that. That's the only thing I can figure.
You can see a replay on that one.
But I don't think we got that replay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
No replay. No replay, which is fine. I really wish we thought for a moment. We now, Scott, on the sideline tonight, there's a replay for the coaching staff to look over.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time that they're allowed to do that under TSSAA rules, and we were talking with them earlier. They were trying to get that set up, so it's a new technology that I'm sure they got going on down there on the sideline.
Yeah, it's going to really help, kind of see where those flaws are in the defense and try to exploit those as well. 1:41 to go here in the third. Back in the shotgun is Williamson. Fires incomplete as sticking them right there was Austin Norwood. Came up, sent him a little message like, you know what, you didn't catch it, but you're going on the ground.
A little high. He was trying to hit Davis. And, Austin Norwood was there ready to lay the lumber whether he caught it or not.
And Darian Davis wants out of this football game. He tapped on his head to go to the sidelines.
They're like, no, I'll just stay on out there.
He's like, no, Darian, you're good. You're good. Just stay on out there. So 3 wide receivers set as the Lions trying to get up to 35 points. Williamson fighting. There's nowhere to go, and he is slammed onto the ground by Jaquez White.
He loses his helmet. He's the man that made that play.
Yep.
He got some help from D, but Jaquez White was the man that forced Williamson to go inside and ended up cleaning it up. Lost his hat in the process. Has to come off the field.
Yep, got to come out and sit one play. Yep. As he would go stand by Big Joe O'Connor. As we tick under 25 seconds to play here in the third. It's 3rd down and 9. And this will likely be the last play of. Oh. We're going to get a timeout by the Bobcats. That was the old Les Miles timeout. Wait until the very last possible second and then call the timeout.
Had to look down there and see if Coach is chewing on grass or something. They're channeling his Les Miles here in the second half. Giles County offensively has put on a clinic tonight. And, you know, when we think back, it seems like forever ago to the first series.
Yeah.
Giles County fell apart the first series and lost a ton of yardage, ended up having to punt. And you weren't sure what was going to happen, but they've exploded, obviously, with touchdowns, 5 touchdowns by Arkell Reed, 3 touchdown passes by Backus, touchdown run by Backus as well. The offense has done really well. The defense, they've done like we said, they've done a good job of containment. They've got a really good wide receiver that's scored 3 touchdowns on them. And that's Des Brooks. And the quarterback, obviously, like you said, Williamson has had a pretty good game too. And then of course the other touchdown was a breakaway by Davis down on a 78-yard run. The defense has played well. But there's some stuff they're obviously going to shore up. But you really can't complain, especially about your defensive line play.
3rd down and 9, Williamson in the pistol. Looking downfield, fires, and it was not really sure. I guess he was looking for Des Brooks.
Key McDonald just leveled Williamson as soon as he threw that ball. and Williamson looked like he didn't want to get up. He still look how slow he's walking across through there.
And at the end of 3, the Bobcats leading as the full moon is out tonight. Well, there have been some werewolves on the defense as 63-28 is your score. We'll be back. You're watching Pulaski TV's today's presentation of Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
63-28 your score as we open this 4th quarter with Columbia Central Lions with the football. Don't forget, join us next week as the Shelbyville Lions, another Lion that will come to town that will entertain. And right now, this is shaping up to be a pretty exciting season for the Bobcats. Williamson looking out of the pistol, looking downfield, looking, firing, and it's going to be almost intercepted by Brandon Rowan.
Good play. Got up there and knocked it away first before you try to make the interception to make sure that the pass is incomplete. But you're right. That was slung up for a prayer by Williamson. Of course, it was 4th down and 10. He didn't have a whole lot of choice.
No, but, I will say this about Columbia Central. This is a team that's likely going to win more than 3 football games this season. They've had some bad breaks here tonight, and the Cats have really just been clicking on all cylinders.
Well, it's the first game, and you don't expect a team to come out and be as offensively proficient as Giles County has been. You just don't expect that. And Columbia Central's carried their own on the offensive side of the football, but they've just not. Giles County's just come with something they didn't have anything for.
It looks like Backus Knight is finished.
He's in there,
and this is a handoff, and he gets it out past the 40 to the 30.
I believe that's Harrison
inside the 25, and that is number
16 Cameron Harrison with a big breakaway run there off that left side. That's really one of the first runs off that left side that we've seen all night.
Yep, going to be a pickup of about 23 yards. No, 30 yards. So Harrison, another guy that we've seen, there's just so many different players.
Yeah, we have called a ton of people's names tonight.
And handoff up the middle, and this one is
it's
great block, and is White going to get? He's going to pick up about 10. Scott, what a tremendous block there in the middle.
Yeah, I could not see who it was. Somebody got out in front of Jaquez White, and it may have been I could not say. It may have been Ziegler.
Yeah,
KJ Ziegler.
KJ Ziegler.
But or actually, I think it may have been 82 there. I'm sorry, I don't have his name here in front of me.
Could be Hunter Jordan. Oh, for the Bobcats.
Yeah.
I don't think we have his number as well.
Name. But it was a good block, and it sprung Jaquiz White for a first down.
63-28 your score as the Cats moving down the field. They're going to toss it. It's going to be an end around. It's going to be a flag down on the play as going around the corner. And good job there to let up there by Montana Carnes.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be a 15-yard penalty if he would have rode him down. He was about 6 yards out of bounds.
You're right. There was a kind of a shovel pass to Peyton Hall, and I don't know. It's going to be actually a chop block on Giles County that's going to move them back about 10 yards. And that's another one of those rules we talked about. They're there to protect the players. You don't want to see anybody get that knee hurt, and that's what that's about. And usually on a chop block, it's when somebody is engaged and somebody hits them below the knee when they're already engaged with somebody else.
Yep, 15-yard penalty.
So it's going to end up back at first down, but you're going to have 25 yards. Giles County's hit on some pretty big plays. So we'll just see what they got drawn up here is John Backus is still in at the quarterback position.
As the clock continues to run inside of 8 minutes. Backus looking downfield, rolling, and that's probably going to be a flag, intentional grounding, as he did not get it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was outside the pocket. He waited just a little too long is what he did.
Yep.
If he would have gone ahead and thrown that just a little bit earlier, he could have got it to the line of scrimmage, and it would not have been a penalty. And this is kind of like what we remember seeing from the first series of the ball game for Giles County, kind of just going backwards. And they're going to end up being first and about 40.
Well, at the same time, though, the clock is still running.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's right now. It's really
and this is the kind of thing that we're talking about, where the coaches really like to pick this. They'll pick this kind of thing apart,
right?
To make sure that this don't happen again when
because this is going to be a 23-28 ball game eventually,
right?
On a play like this, Backus looking tipped at the line of scrimmage, or it just looked like it just slipped out of his hand.
Right. It was caught. Good catch there by Cameron Harrison.
Yep.
He's going to advance. They're going to advance the ball up.
Got to get about 8 yards there by Harrison.
It's going to be third down now for Giles County.
It looks third down and
Linville.
Yeah. It's going to take it. They're going to need to get it to the 325 marker in the Sam Davis outfield to get it down there.
That's exactly right.
7:20 to go here in the fourth. Is the Bobcats? They've clicked on all cylinders and then some tonight on offense. And we're going to get another flag. So this is, Scott, it's really interesting. The game has been penalty fest in the first few minutes. As now in the last few minutes of the game, it's back to these penalties for the Bobcats.
They are going to put the ball on the 50-yard line, and Giles County has to get inside the 5.
Yeah, I don't know what you do here.
To get a first down.
Do you just punt it? Do you just throw it away? I don't know. But with going to be 4 wide outs, Backus looking. He's firing down the field. He's got a man.
It's Ziegler.
And it's Ziegler with his third touchdown of the night.
Well, who needs a first down?
70 points.
50-yard strike.
10 touchdowns tonight for the Cats.
4 touchdown passes for John Backus. He's got a 5th one running. Arkell Reed has got 5 touchdowns. It is an amazing night of offense for the Giles County High School Bobcats.
I mean, I don't have a dictionary with me, so I ran out of superlatives for the Cats tonight, as they have just been sensational on the offensive side of the football. Snap, kick. It's good. Cats lead it 70
for their own 70
to 28, a 42-point lead. 6:27 to go here in the fourth. You're watching Pulaski TV Day's presentation of Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
Welcome back. 70-28. Yeah, that's not a typo. 70 points. 10 touchdowns for the Bobcats. As right now, the Cats have they've exploded onto the scene tonight. And I tell you what, in 4A, there's a lot of schools going, oh, no, not Giles, not again.
You got to think
the Bobcats.
You got to think David O'Connor wanted to have some kind of a statement coming into this, and whether he did or not, they've made one. Giles County is back, and they really weren't that far gone because they were in the playoffs last year. I mean, they're only a couple years out of away from having been in the state championship game. So,
yeah.
So you had to think somewhere back in the back of his mind he wanted to make some kind of statement to let everybody know that he's back. And and even if he didn't, they've made it.
I mean, Scott, we saw an onside kick with the score 63-28. I think that kind of
that'll tell you a little bit.
Kind of tells you a little bit.
But that's also for the other teams that are going to be playing down the road. You want to show them that stuff. We're going to have a lot of new players out here on defense now.
As Williamson and the pistol, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far. Williamson looking. Most intercepted by Javier
Verduzco, I would say.
Verduzco.
They've got him as a kicker, wide receiver, defensive back. So
Mr. Do-It-All.
He does a lot. So he is a senior, and he's out there. I'll try to call a few names. Number HC is Eric Cannon. Number 40 out on the field is Nolan Ballou. Nolan Ballou's out there on the field.
Yep. As right now, this becomes its own game. Now you get these younger guys out there, it's like the score 0-0 all over again for these guys. Low snap below the legs of Williamson. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to throw it.
I think we'll get a flag on that.
That should be intentional ground.
He wasn't even out of the pocket.
Yeah, give me
Deshaun Williams coming out of that middle linebacker spot was the man that ran it that forced him to go ahead and throw it. He's out there. We've seen Deshaun on special teams and a couple of times tonight. So he's in there at middle linebacker. Back in there with him is R.J. Oyenip. I remember he played. I think he played out of South Giles.
That's where he played.
Yeah,
I remember that
Giles.
name. Yep.
Running on the field now, you see Dallin Harris. We've seen him already tonight. You've got who else we got out there? Trying to pick up a few numbers.
Number 19, DeAndre Dye is another player out there.
So Giles kind of getting some players in the game, taking advantage of this big lead. Bryson Bowen, see him out there on the line.
Yep.
And Hollis Kelly is another one I see out there on the defensive line.
It's a pistol formation. Williamson looking downfield, uncorks a bullet and just over the head of Darian Davis. And Scott, you see, Williamson's got a cannon. I mean, he threw that ball on a rope 30 yards.
But it's like he's forgot about the best receiver he's got over there. I mean, the man has caught 3 touchdown passes, and he's completely forgot he's over there.
Yeah, can't even get a ball thrown his way.
I mean, I think I just loft one up to him, even if he's got double coverage.
Bring up 4th down and 31. Yeah, as Columbia will punt this one away, as this one has gotten out of reach, and right now they're just trying to save face, not give up any more points tonight. Snap's a good one as his toes are on the back of the line. It's a nice punt. be about a 45-yard punt. And the Lions will down it as the clock continues to tick as we are under 4 minutes to play in the game. Don't forget, after the game, we'll catch up with head coach David O'Connor.
Yep.
And I know he's anxious to be back on the broadcast and hear us and talk with us as just a phenomenal. I don't think you couldn't have had a better first game for Coach David O'Connor.
I don't know how you could draw it up any better for them. We've talked about it tonight. They've had a lot of success, and they showed a lot that they can already do. First game of the year, and it's hard to believe that you're not going to get better before the end of the year.
Yeah.
So you got that going on, and then there were, like I said, the mistakes were just enough out there to give them something to work on.
If you look at that sign there, there's a David O'Connor 2016, make Giles County great again.
And I love that.
Well, right now it's looking that way, and looking that way is a nice little run there by James Fowler.
Yeah, we're gonna have
sophomore.
We're gonna have some new players in. I saw Elijah Hargrove come in. He's down here split out wide. At the quarterback, you're going to have Harrison running at the quarterback position. We've seen him run the ball a lot tonight. Over at tight end, they didn't have that player's name. That's an 8. We'll get all the roster stuff worked out too as we go along.
And Jacquez White in the backfield again. And it's going to be a handoff. Fowler, and he's going to be brought down. Nice tackle there by Williamson. Doing double duty tonight for the Cats. For the Lions.
C. Ray Holt. You see him out there in the slot position. Some of those linemen, you got number 62 out there. That's Ryan Patterson.
Yep.
See, 50. Was that 53 or 52? Is that Drew Hawk out there?
Yep, 53 Drew Hawk.
78 Justin Thompson. Trying to get as many of these guys. These guys they're the team of the future.
Yeah.
Good to see them get out there and get some experience.
Harrison going to keep this one, trying to get away, and he's going to lose about 10 yards. We're getting under 2 minutes to play, and just a perfect. Honestly, from an offensive perspective, just a perfect game for Giles County.
Hey, Cody, let's not forget to thank our sponsors for the Pulaski TV Today broadcast. Of course, Pulaski Electric System. Can't forget them. Have to thank them for providing this service to our community. Andy Hoover, local attorney. I want to thank him for his sponsorship. Benchmark Physical Therapy and Via Media. I want to thank all of our sponsors. And, without them, we can't do this. And you don't get to see the ball games. You don't get to see the replays. And our games are played on Thursdays. Is that correct? Thursdays on Channel 3, Pulaski, PES Energized Television.
Yep, on PS Energized. And I want to thanks for the rest of the production team. I want to thank Ricky Lee Nelson, doing a great job tonight.
Ricky.
On the boards, you've got Bethany Nelson as well as Ricky Nelson.
Yep.
As Nelson Studios, bringing you this production tonight as the Bobcats have pretty much sealed this one. 10 seconds to go, and I don't even think they have to snap it. And Columbia
calls a timeout.
And you kind of got to wonder if that timeout is because of a onside kick up 63-28.
It may be. Little gamesmanship here at the 70-28 ball game. Giles County is going to walk away with win number 1 of this season, and like you said, there's going to at least in Middle Tennessee, if not throughout the state of Tennessee, there's just going to be a few eyebrows raised at the fact that Giles County is back and producing points in big numbers.
There's a lot of people going to say, is that score of the Giles County game? Did they score 70?
Yeah.
Tonight,
and they could have scored more. Just like we said, there's a couple of touchdowns they left in the basket back in the first half.
And some finals tonight. Marshall County. This is now really shaping up to be a contest between those guys. 42-6, as Bryce Wallace makes his debut at quarterback for the Marshall County Tigers, as they win tonight, 42-6. This is Williamson. This is the final play of the ball game. Looking downfield, firing.
Knocked away.
And that will do it. Your final score from the Brickyard in game number 1 of 2016, The Giles County Bobcats 70, Columbia 28. We'll be right back with Coach David O'Connor. You're watching Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County football.
This is the circuit courtroom of the Giles County Courthouse. Every day, important decisions are made affecting people's rights and privileges. When you are in need of legal services, please allow the experienced lawyers of Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to assist you in every step.
I'm Andy Hoover. For your free initial consultation, please feel free to call our firm or visit our website. We're here to help.
And we're going to call an audible here as it looks like the game is not over. There must have been a flag on the field.
The clock did hit zero, so it must have been
zero.
a defensive penalty that we did not see.
So this will be your final play of the game, barring a penalty. Williamson looking, and it's intercepted. A nice interception there to end the game by number 20, Javier Verduzco.
All right.
So now we will take a timeout. We'll be back and we'll wrap this one up from Giles County as the Bobcats win it 70-28. You're watching Pulaski TV Day's presentation of Giles County football.
In 2012, enough prescriptions were written for opioid pain medication for every American adult to have their own bottle of pills. 1 in 4 non-cancer related users struggles with addiction. Physical therapy is a safe and effective alternative to opioids for long-term pain management. Choose the safer way to manage pain. To learn how physical therapy can be an alternative for pain management, contact Benchmark Physical Therapy to schedule a consultation.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and juries make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Juries may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you at every important step.
I've got my closest friends over to watch the game on cable. Did you know you can advertise your local business during this cable program? Via Media represents the advertising for your cable system. They could put a TV commercial for you right here on this system during this show. Let Via Media help you. Call Via Media today or viamediatv.com.
And welcome back in the post-game wrap-up show. I'm Cody Derberry alongside Scott Stewart. And Scott, we just saw an offensive clinic tonight for the Bobcats as they hang 70 on the Lions.
That's 10 touchdowns to me and you, by the way.
Touchdowns.
5 touchdowns by Arkell Reed and the offensive line. Let's go ahead and give them credit. Rushing, we had 1 rushing touchdown for John Backus, new Giles County High School quarterback, and then he tossed about 400 yards worth of passes and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns for Backus, 1 on the ground, 60 yards rushing for Backus on the ground. That's a pretty good 3-game stretch, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good season. I would have been happy. You know what? I scored 4 touchdowns. Right. So 5 touchdowns for Backus, 5 for Reed, and a lot has to be said. I think the MVPs of the game tonight, Devontae Murphy and Morgan Witt, they just created so much havoc on that right side of that line. I mean,
it's going to be hard to ignore the flashiness of the touchdowns.
It is. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, those if you watch this game and it'll be running again over. It's not just one time; it'll run over and over on Channel 3 here. Watch those 2 guys, especially in the first half when they were together on the right side of the line.
Yeah,
it was just an amazing what the holes that they were blowing up through there. So I would agree. I'd almost have to give them the game ball just because of the way that they manhandled that defensive line for Columbia.
Yeah, and you also can't throw for 400 yards if you're on your back.
No,
and they did a great job protecting John Backus, the transfer from Athens High School. If you need to make sure you need to come out and see this Bobcat team because there's something special going on here at Giles County.
Right, you're gonna get another chance to see them here locally against Shelbyville that next Friday.
Yeah.
This coming Friday night. which will be tomorrow, whenever this plays on TV.
Yep.
So Friday night they will be playing Sheffield right here at the Brickyard, and then next week, the next week they're going to go to Lawrenceburg. So 3 games right here in a row where they're within 10 or 15 minutes of playing, and you got to come out and see this. I'm not sure anybody expected it. Maybe the coaches did. As I said, I asked Coach O'Connor before the game. He just kind of gave me a smile.
It was close to his vest. He kept his cards pretty close to his vest.
Gave me a little smile and said, we'll see. Well, we saw. I don't know if anybody expected this kind of offensive production. And like I said, plenty to work on for the offensive and defensive side. And can't say enough about the defense. They played well, too.
Yeah, the defensive side of the ball, Key McDonald, Jaquez White just really disrupting up inside along with D. McElroy.
That's right.
So we're going to take another timeout. We'll be back with head coach David O'Connor. You're watching Pulaski TV today's presentation of Giles County football.
At the Giles County Courthouse, judges and juries make decisions every day that significantly affect people's lives. Juries may decide who goes to the penitentiary. Judges may choose which parent will raise children. Both could decide how your heirs share in your property. If you are confronting any of these difficult legal issues in your life or business, please allow the experienced lawyers at Andrew Hoover and Attorneys to be with you at every important step.
I'm a weekend warrior, and soccer is one of my passions. But when I sprained my ankle, I thought that was all over. But I went to Benchmark Physical Therapy. I was treated with manual therapy. My progress was measured each step of the way. I put in the time, the reps, the work to get my ankle ready for anything. So now, it's like it never happened.
All right, welcome in to post-game here on Pulaski TV today. Alongside me, Bobcat head coach David O'Connor, coming off a huge win, 70-28 over the Columbia Central Lions. And, Coach, you had to like the way the Cats played tonight, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, offensively we made a lot of just big plays, and we hammered the ball pretty well as well. I thought Arkell Reed did a good job running behind what looked like some just huge holes sometime in our offensive line. I felt did a really good job of moving people, and it ended up with a big game offensively. And defensively, I thought we played well in spurts. Probably lost our focus. You go up 35 points, and sometimes it's hard to concentrate. There's some plays we need to make and left out on the field there defensively. Too many penalties. We've got to cut out on some of those penalties if we're going to beat good teams. And I mean, it's just part of the process. You just got to keep hammering away.
Well, back his first game with the Bobcats in the backfield, almost 400 yards passing tonight, 4 touchdowns, 60 on the ground, also another touchdown. So 5 touchdowns tonight for him in his first game tonight. What did you think about the guy tonight?
I thought Coach Flippo's done a really good job with him, and heck, there's not a lot you got to do with him, but Coach Flippo works him, and every day they're going to work on the practice field. And the best thing about John is he shows up to work every day.
Yeah. Well, KJ Ziegler, there was a guy tonight, 3 catches. They offer a touchdown, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns for Ziegler tonight. I felt like tonight we came to the broadcast. We said, what's in the cupboard? We know the cupboard's not bare, but we know we weren't sure what kind of dishes were in here. Man, we called a lot of names tonight on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. I thought a lot of different guys stepped up tonight.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of good players still here in Giles County, and there have been. You know, they just had some tough situations during the last couple of years, and we've got a few more kids out that didn't play. You know, the Trent Burns, the Key McDonald's, who's kind of dominating on the D-line. We had some guys make big plays, and there was a few other guys that just matured and become better football players. Is your bottom line. You know, Brighton Westmoreland, Trillion Marks on the offensive line, Devontae Murphy. We just had some guys that have matured and become better football players.
And talk about that offensive line. They just made, I mean, like you said, just huge holes for Arkell Reed back there, who, you know, he took advantage of what he had, and he rushed for almost a little over 250 yards tonight and 5 touchdowns. You know, we've talked a lot about the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, I think tonight what we saw is there the focus wasn't there 100% of the time after we kind of got the big lead.
That's right. It was up until that point, and it was at times. I think toward the end of the third quarter, we had a pretty good little run of a couple stops there that really put the game on away for us. I mean, it's just what goes through a young guy's mind. You never know at that age, but I guarantee they're playing their hearts out, and we got I'd say some of the best kids in the state of Tennessee. It's just a matter of getting them coached up.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this is your coming back back to Giles County. Saw on the sideline O'Connor 2016 make Giles County great again. We've talked about you're on the short list of the great coaches in this state, and it seems like those kids really respond to you coming back, and I feel like everybody's kind of bought into this program kind of all over again.
There is a lot of energy, and it's not just energy in our football program. I feel like it's an energy in our school system. A lot of that's brought on by Dr. Wright, who's doing a lot of good really modernizing our educational system a little bit. Miss Cobb coming over to the high school is doing big things. We've got a lot of good things going on in Giles County, and one of the best things we've got going on is our kids. We've got great kids, and we're fortunate to have them, and we're fortunate to have good coaches. That's one thing, Miss Cobb. We had a lot of turnover of teachers at our school. We got fortunate that we could bring in more coaches, and all those guys are really good coaches. Coach Britt, who coaches our corners, Coach Haynes, our defensive coordinator. Just the list goes on, and we've just been real fortunate.
Yeah. One last thing, you go from one Lion in Columbia to another Lion in Shelbyville.
They're the Golden Eagles, aren't they?
Oh, they're the Golden Eagles. That's right. They're the Golden Eagles.
But we'll play the Shelbyville Lions. That might be a little easier.
Yeah, the Shelbyville Lions Club.
That's
they might be a
exactly
little
right.
older, but tonight I think there's so much to build on, especially Shelbyville coming off a big win tonight over Lawrence County.
Yeah, you can bet Shelbyville's going to be good. We saw them in the 7-on-7 early, and they were a good football team. That's going to be a heck of a matchup next week here at the Brickyard. And our goal is just to kind of hang in there with them because they've kind of established themselves over the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years. Coach Hardy done a great job there, and he's just stepped out, and they've got a new guy in that looks like he's just picking up, carrying on from what they did. And so we are really excited about getting the opportunity to play the Golden Eagles.
All right, well, that will do it here tonight from the Brickyard. Your final score, Giles County defeating the Columbia Central Lions 70-28. You just watched a presentation of Pulaski TV Today's presentation of Giles County football.